Ooh, this is not D&D Adventures on a New Frontier. This is D&D The Dragon Icespire
This is the story of a squirrel.
episode question mark. Go live.
Yeah, I'm now live. However, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I have no idea where to grab like the link to on YouTube. Like it's like stream URL, and I type that in, and like that's not it. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely.
God.
So
I got you.
yeah, you got me. Post it in D&D for me if you would. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks, squad fam.
30 second this.
Well, so in the controller, like normally, so for like Twitch, it's like, here's the thing, you know, but like, I don't have that luxury. Whoops, wrong person. Like it doesn't do that on YouTube, or at least maybe it does, and I haven't seen it.
Now,
Alright. There we go. What's up? Alright, Meredith said she also just got home like 2 minutes ago, so she'll be right in. And we'll get this show on the road when she does. We'll do the usual thing of going over everybody's characters, save for Josh's. I'll do what I'm gonna do is do the house rules stuff as well.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I've got my own house rules that are similar to Josh's but a little different. And this is the only time that they're up for debate. So if you have a house rule that you're like, well, that's dumb, this would be the time to mention that, because once we go from here, short of them very obviously being broken later, that's pretty much a wrap for them. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But Roy, did you ever get your stuff figured out? Were you good to go?
as good as I'm gonna be.
Yeah, I always tell people, I was like, there's two kinds of people. There's I guess technically the Joshes, the people who it's like I put a picture on my character sheet, and then there's Riley, who has a bibliography of their characters, which is great. So here's the thing: his character is super set up and prepared for like character development, and I've built stuff around it, and I've got plans for it, and that's great unless he dies, in which case it was effectively pointless. But then you got Josh's, who if he dies it doesn't matter, but I also have fucking nothing. I know he picks things up and puts them back down, you know what I mean? He's a big strong man. So
Well, arguably, the fun is, if Lasair dies, I get to do this all over again. So
Yeah.
that's half the fun.
Corey's shaking her head. Nope. She's so terrified Carl's gonna die, which is good too, because she made a rogue that has reached like level 7, so the odds of that one dying are very, very low, and it's more likely that her friends are gonna die, which interestingly enough one of them already has a broken neck. It was very traumatic.
Oof.
Wow, that's an.
Yeah.
Oh, we got specifics on the death.
I mean, if you're not being specific, you're not doing it right.
Oh yeah, no, it as for your thing, Meredith, I forgot all about it. So you won't need it at level 1. You won't have access to it anyway. So after this session, we'll get together and we'll put it together. But
Okie dokie.
okie dokie. It wasn't something that was pivotal to your character as of right now, right?
No.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure.
For the record, Jordan, I just want you to know that I did a little stupid gay little intro to my little stream, and I have deemed this. No, this is my first time doing it, you asshole. So
really? The asshole.
I have deemed this session is our Adventurers Anonymous session.
Oh, okay. So it's like an AA meeting for nerds.
Exactly. Hi, my name is Lasair. Hi, Lasair.
Hi, Lasair.
I have a concern.
Yeah, what's that?
I I'm like scrambling to put the weights of everything in my inventory because I'm a slacker,
Mhm.
and I just looked up. It says ball bearings weigh 2,
Right.
and I have 1,000 of them.
It's 1,000. It's
No, no.
1,000 of them that weigh 2 pounds.
Yeah, 1,000 of them
Oh,
weigh 2 pounds. So you can either do
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
math on that, or you
By
can make
that.
it. So what I do is I
How are
put ball
carrying
bearings
2,000 pounds?
1,000 in parentheses in the name, and I put one of those. You see what I'm saying? So you have
Okay.
one.
Yeah, it doesn't say that on the sheet that I'm looking at. It just says
Yeah.
ball bearings.
Yeah, yeah. So you have one ball bearings with 1,000 in it.
Very-
Okay, because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
why did it give me this?
Yeah, yeah. No, I've had the
How
same.
does
I've had
this exist?
it when I made Chase. I had the exact same thing happen.
God, you're done, Jordan.
I wasn't thinking. I was just like, yeah, 1,000 of these freaking things. Just so you
Yeah,
know.
weight is being a Torn has
yeah,
some of the
yeah.
best benefits. I don't have to carry a tent. I don't have to worry about armor weight. There's so many things I don't have to worry about.
Yeah. Now, for anybody, just real quick, if you don't mind, Riley brought up a good point. I'm going to quickly say for the 3 people who watched the stream, one, we started streaming this stuff just as have like a way of recording our sessions because it was fun, and then it just kind of became a little something more. But that being said, for those who are used to doing the Nevany stuff with Josh, this is me running a campaign for the first time in like 7 fucking months since coming home from
That's
Afghanistan.
Naveen.
Really. What?
Nevany.
Nevany. No, it's Nevany. I don't care what you say. I'm sorry. I know it's pronounced Naveen, but it's spelled Nevany, so therefore it is Nevany. Yeah, I call things what they are. Having said that, though, this will now be alternating every other week. I'll be running a campaign, and then Josh will run his usually scheduled one. And normally he would be in this one as Big Strong Axeman, Axe Sword Bow Shield, as it were. But we don't. He's not here today. He had a pressing issue, something about cancer. I don't know. But either way, I am gonna. If
Cancer.
I don't know, it's hard to say. But everybody that's here, though, are you guys good for me to read off the? We're gonna do the house rules, and then do your characters, and then we'll roll right into it.
Go ham.
Okay, so in your documents folder, under your handouts, you're going to see a house rules. Feel free to read along, you don't have to. But my first rule is you're not allowed to discuss tactics during combat. Kind of goes without saying. I'm actually going to show you guys here a turn order on the screen with all your characters. And you'll notice it's round 1. And as each of you gets a turn, you are the spotlight. Now, you guys can talk out of character in the little chat box and what have you. But once it gets back to the round, that is where we'll take a minute or 2 minutes or however long you need to quickly discuss. Okay, guys. So we're gonna go and we're gonna jump on his head and stomp on him until he dies. Whatever the plan is, whatever the strategy is, we'll discuss it there. But outside of quick little, if somebody's doing something and you're like, oh, if you're doing that, then I can work with that. I can play off that. Outside of just short, quick, to the point insertions, we're not gonna sit down and have 30-minute debates about what spell the mage should cast. Okay, that'll just keep combat from taking forever because then everybody makes a tactical discussion on each person's turn. We do a really good job of not doing that on the Naveen thing. The only time we did anything like that was when Charles was dying. But those are all okay. It's just the basic tactics. We're not gonna do that. The second rule, I talked to you guys about this before. I think everybody seemed pretty okay with it, but just to clarify, checking for traps is going to be handled the same way stealth is handled. So you'll make a perception check when you say, hey, I'm going to be checking for traps. Okay, so then you will move slowly through the dungeon carefully, and as long as you're doing that perception roll that you roll the moment you start checking, say it's a 17, I'll just put a little note that you rolled a 17, and then when you encounter a trap, rather than having you roll at the encounter of the trap, then I'll just take that 17 you rolled, and if it's a DC 15, you see it. If it's a 20, you better hope it's not deadly. And then once you encounter a trap, then when you start checking for traps again, you'll make a new roll. Or if you stop checking for traps, and I won't let you guys meta it, where you roll a 6, and you're like, okay, I stop, and I start again. we won't do that per se, but you know what I mean. Like you've stopped checking for traps because you're doing something else. But that'll be how that works. That'll prevent us from having situations where we're checking every door, making a perception check at every hallway, and it's just you make it when you start, and we'll make a new one when we need to. Any questions on that one? Because that one's kind of a new one. Okay. You can still make perception checks for other things. I want to see what I can see in this room. I want to see what I can find. Okay, make a perception check. That all the perception rules and are aware of before still apply. It's just for traps. This one's a given, but rule 3 is plan your turn out before your turn arrives. Avoid waiting to pick attacks, spells, actions, etc. on your once your turn starts. If you're a spellcaster, especially, like you have so many spells to choose from, try to be familiar with them and know what you're going to do before we get to that point, rather than taking 5, 10, 15 minutes to figure it out. I understand if something dramatic happens right before your turn, that's a given, that's an understood. But like if
Kukri dies.
Yeah, Kukri dies. But like if it's all right, fucking Tortimer over here walked up and bashed the thing on the head as we all expected him to do. Maybe he added some lightning or fire to it. Cool, but we knew he was going to hit something. So that shouldn't change much, other than maybe your target, because your previous target is now like flattened. So just be aware of what you're going to do before your turn gets here. I am toying with this. We may remove it, but I liked it when I saw it. But it's initiative swapping. After a full round of combat has happened, a player with high initiative can choose to take their turn after a player of lower initiative for the sake of a plan's success. So if you need, for whatever reason, the rogue rolled high on their check and they're like first in the order, but we need them to go fourth, they can opt to go lower. You can't go higher, but you can always go lower for the sake of the success of a plan. That you need, like, we need this person to go next, kind of thing. But not on the first round, because again, that's the initial contact. The fifth rule is rolling a natural 1 on attack rolls will cause nearby enemies to have a chance to take a reaction or for opportunity attacks against you. It's kind of like you attacked someone and you fucked it up so bad that you're so open and exposed that they get to attack you. That helps keep it from being every time you're rolling that 1, it's like, oh, your axe got stuck in the wall. That'll happen too. But it just makes it where now we can have the enemy have an interesting attack against you, rather than you just always having your weapon stuck, or you shooting your friend in the back with an arrow. So keep that in mind. Players gain a level of exhaustion after combat if they made a death save. So if you're in combat and you had to make a death saving throw, if you died, you'll be completely exhausted. But if you survive, doesn't matter if you made 1 or 2 death saves, or 3 successes and 2 failures, doesn't matter. If you made a death save of any kind while in combat, then when you get back up, you will have exhaustion, 1 level of exhaustion. Now, if you go down to 0 hit points and somebody immediately brings you back up, you're good. Just keep that in mind. Describing your attacks in greater detail can lead to attack or damage bonuses. This one I've done for a long time. You guys have known it. If you tell me that you're trying to, trying to cut through their eye, or you're trying to, sweep their legs. I've had some people say, I'm trying to cut his leg off, and it's like, we just started. He has full health. That's not going to work. But if if we're trying to do damage to a specific part and you roll high enough with either enough damage or a high enough attack roll, maybe you do knock them to the ground based off of how much damage you do. Again, it's not going to be like, there's this hill giant that comes out of the woods and like the druid runs up and is like, I sweep the knees. Like, well, he stomps you. But you get the idea. You're describing your attack in detail outside of just I attack with my rapier. Can get you whatever you're trying to achieve. And it's not going to make it harder to hit them. If you're like, oh, I'm going to try to stab them in the heart, and it's a fucking AC of 14 and you roll a 15, it's not going to be like, oh, well, you aimed for a specific target, so you have to roll higher. No, it's just, okay, you instead just do normal damage. You don't stab them through the heart. You just stab them in the normal spots. So, but keep in mind, describing your attacks in detail can get you bonuses. And lastly, this one is something that I'm toying with, another thing that I saw. Players can turn a near miss into a hit, or a hit into a critical by taking a level of exhaustion as a consequence. So the idea being you can kind of play, because we don't use exhaustion a whole lot, and so it's an interesting game mechanic that I think you could you can overexert yourself, push yourself beyond the limits to get that near miss, that okay, we missed it by 1 or 2 AC to hitting, or we did hit and we want to turn that into a critical. So you can take a level of exhaustion to turn that, and if you do that, the critical will be max damage. So those are the house rules. Does anybody have any questions about those?
Did you write those down somewhere?
Yeah, in your documents folder, you're going to see a house rules next to what I know so far.
I'll have to read those each week.
Yeah, especially because they differ from Josh's, so I'm sure it makes it difficult. But what I wanted to do now then is just go ahead and start going from left to right, going through each person's quick character. He gives us a quick little introduction of them, starting with Lizzie.
Oh God, you're starting with me?
Well, you are on the left, and I did say that, so.
Okay. I apologize to everyone in advance for this. Sorry, I need to like mentally.
I'll come now.
Well, I'm sorry. I have not had enough alcohol.
That's
Okay, I'm fine. My name is Dr. Elizabeth Victoria Kowalski Walton III, but you can call me Lizzie, and I'm a scientist. My greatest love is science. Its beauty and mysterious wonder has always captivated me so, particularly multidimensional travel. Did you know your atoms momentarily scramble when you travel to a different dimension? There's a chance they might not go back to where they were. Isn't that amazing? It almost happened to me once, but that's a story for another time. You know, some people say I'm easily distracted, but I really don't know what they... Oh my god, is that Panthera Pardis walking on 2 feet and talking? Fascinating! Perhaps I've evolved past humanity in this dimension, or perhaps... Oh, I'm sorry, what was I saying?
That's fantastic.
How are we gonna scramble your
And I hear Upchurch in the background. I'm about to scramble your ass. Oh god, that's great. That's fantastic. For those of you who don't know, excuse me, Dr. Elizabeth Victoria Kowalski Walton III was a character created when we were doing a one-shot where we were all basically drunk the entire time and just made it up as we went. And the TLDR of Lizzie is that she travels. She's Doctor Who. And the trade-off for this one is that she got normally for our one-shots, she shows up in this fantasy world with sci-fi technology and crazy shit. But for this one, because we're playing a traditional game, we wanted to use her character. She's here by accident. She effed up, and so she's stuck here and has kind of taken on the role of like a wizard, because that's the closest to science she can kind of get. Did I about sum that up right for you, Meredith?
Yep.
Alright. So that brings it to Lasser.
Josh's turn. We'll see you next week.
God damn it, Meredith.
Yeah. How do you follow that, right?
right.
Exactly. I've trumped everyone in a written backstory, and then she whips that shit out.
And she writes one line of text in her bio and info, and then she hits you with the whole spiel. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Arguably, that's better. God
planned.
God damn it.
See, that's the thing with Lizzie. Nothing's planned.
Nothing's planned. Yep. You can't plan chaos.
You guys don't all have to go in there and like do the whole thing. That was her thing. But yeah, if you want to be like, hi, my name's Ted. I like daggers. I'm an expert in perception. You know, because that would be me. That would be like, hey, hi.
Hi, Lizzie.
Hi, Lizzie.
It literally is Adventurers Anonymous. Fucking A. Alright. Do my best here. No, I'm not gonna do a voice right now.
You're fine, man. Honestly,
So-
just give us a synopsis of you.
So I'm gonna be playing Lassair. He is a Tabaxi. His big thing, he doesn't know where he came from. He has no memory of his parents. He knows he has them because of that's no one appears out of thin air. Pretty much
Beg to differ.
your turn's over. God, just stop it, Jordan. Stop. But yes, it is like Altair, except with more law and much more cool. Okay,
Sure.
got it. Cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Altair. Last I checked, Altair didn't have. But yeah. So Lassair doesn't know where he started. All he knows is he woke up his earliest memory is being in a giant blaze. He was rescued and raised by a pack of wolves. Thank you, predetermined druid traits. So later on in life, still very young, he was picked up by a druid, and he was taught the druidic ways of the Circle of Wildfire, which seems a lot kind of contrary to most druidic circles in that destruction is okay within within reason. So he was kind of trained in those ways, also while being in the company of Genasi, who she kind of is a recurring companion in his past, because as he was learning to use fire to affect change and growth, she was trying to learn to control her. So she just had a more destructive mentality. So they kind of balanced each other out. So essentially, he came across a little bit of mystery, and in regards to the way of the Circle of Wildfire and some people that he knows in that circle, and so those kind of kick-started his adventuring days as he traveled out of the Neverwinter Woods and traveled south to Phandalin-ish areas.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, he has if Lizzie has the most, we'll say, backstory from like real gameplay of just us doing stuff together, Lasser, from what I've seen so far, has the most in-depth backstory of the group I've seen so far. But that being said, it's like I was saying earlier, hopefully that's not for nothing. Hopefully you don't die in the first session, because you have a great fleshed out story.
Walks through the gatehouse, rock falls and kills me.
I mean, really,
done.
yeah. Depending on what I roll on this dragon table, you guys might die in the first 30 minutes. So.
Like I said, I'm gonna go, with my normal rules here, I say normal rules, but they're brand new. If I get to level 5 and then he dies, we'll kind of vault him permanently. Otherwise, we'll vault him and bring him out later.
Sure. All right, so that brings us to Charles, who is playing as Tehetan the Turtle.
Man, that pronunciation is trash, but...
All right, well, so you say it then.
I'm Titan of Forge Cleric, the servant of Gon the Wonderbringer. I'm on a noble quest to retrieve... You can't know that. I'm just here. Don't mind me.
I love it.
He's a shy turtle. He really got to bring this guy out of his shell as we go forward.
Oh my god.
And I quit.
You ruined it.
I regret nothing.
I regret everything.
Oh god. Okay. All right. So that brings it to Robin Sparks, the rogue.
Yeah, she's a rogue. She's a very roguey character. She's a criminal. She likes to steal things. She was born and raised in Baldur's Gate, and after running into issues with the guards there, she made her way up here, and she wants to steal things and make money.
Standard rogue.
Yep, just rogue things. Hashtagging.
So we don't have a full story on it yet, but Josh's character, who will be joining it next session, whether that be a week from now, if he pushes his off a week, or if it's the next 2 sessions away, he'll be joining us with his half giant barbarian, which is Namul Stoutarm. I've got it on screen. Culinary arts. But he's supposed to literally just be the big meaty barbarian. I'm not sure if Josh has more that he's going to put into him, but Josh has never played like a hit things real hard character. It's always been a mage of some kind, so or something up to that effect. So we'll see how that goes. But before we get right into it, then I'm going to go ahead and quickly say that unlike the railroad stuff I've done in the past, this is very much just a sandbox, guys. And I wish I had done something like this sooner. So I want you guys to do what you think. It could be what you think your character would do, obviously, but do what makes sense to you. And if you think, oh well, Jordan probably wouldn't want us to do that, throw that shit right out. So do what you think you would do in that scenario and what makes the most sense to you, and we should be just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get us started on the specifics here. So this is where we'll be starting, here on this Neverwinter region of the Sword Coast. You guys are going to be here in Phandalin. So nestled in the rocky foothills of the snow-capped Sword Mountains is the mining town of Phandalin, which consists of 40 or 50 simple log buildings. Let's go have a look at it. So, crumbling stone ruins surround the newer houses and shops, showing how this must have been a much larger town in centuries past. Phandolin's residents are quiet, hard-working folk who came from distant cities to eke out a life amid the harsh wilderness. They are farmers, stonecutters, blacksmiths, traders, prospectors, and children. The town has no walls and no garrison, but most of the adults keep weapons within easy reach in case the need for arms should arise. Visitors are welcome here, particularly if they have coin to spend or news to share. The Stonehill Inn at the center of town offers modest lodging and meals. A couple of doors down from the inn, posted outside the town master's hall, is a job board for adventurers. Now, your party, minus Namul, originally arrived in Phandalin for your own various reasons. However, after meeting in the Stonehill Inn, taking a quest to escort a caravan to Neverwinter and back, where you guys did fight off some common bandits, you guys formed sort of a surface-level bond. You know each other by name, you understand each other's basic skills and abilities, and have, for the time being, decided that it would be in each person's best interest to, at the very least, work together for now, if only to make some money, so that maybe you can pursue your own goals in the future. So with that in mind, knowing what you know so far, and what I've just told you, what do you do? Don't everybody talk at once. This happens every time we start a new game. Everybody's waiting on someone else to start it.
No one wants to be party leader, Jordan. That's
No
what
one
it
wants,
is.
yeah, no one wants to be Chase. No one wants to be Adrian. I get it, right?
Trust me, you don't want Lizzie to be the leader. Trust me on that.
Well, I think that it's argued between Lizzie and Lasser at this point. So, but you know,
I'm just saying, you want to die. Let Lizzie lead.
yeah. If you guys want some initial motivations, I think your initial motivation right now is that you're all basically broke and could use money for all the motivations that you guys have given me thus far. You need money for. So make it that way.
Robin would be looking at the board for another quest.
Okay, so you're looking at the board for another quest.
Yes.
Okay, well let's see what you find on the board. Let's see here. As you peruse through the board, you see this. You see this. And you see this. Feel free to mess around with those, move them around as you need. But those are the quests that you currently see pinned to the board. As you're standing there, there are a few other people
Throw
nearby.
that one away because it's doesn't make enough money.
Just throw it off the screen. Jesus. Like, alright, well, that just throws it on the ground, stomps on
Only
it.
25 GP. Toss it away.
And we've acquired one already.
No, you have not acquired one yet. These are the
Okay.
ones that are currently posted. There are, to be fair, there are a few quests posted there that are simple things, like go out and gather wood, or go out and there's one that says the river's stopped up east of here. You know, if somebody can investigate it, they'd appreciate it. But they're all like, you know, minor. But in fact, one of them's being perused by this little halfling here. She's having a look at a few of the quests on the quest board and kind of mulling over them. She's got a little goldfish fastened to her waist, and it's just swimming around in a little jar.
Go do the blocked river quest. End up fighting a werebeaver.
A werebeaver. First, you got to figure out where it's at.
What? No, werebeaver would clearly kill us. So we're not going to do that.
If you guys died to a werebeaver on the surfer session, I think I'd probably just hang it up. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't even let you roll new characters. We'd just stop.
Episode
Sad.
1, start at the beginning.
Robin is perusing this gnome guard quest.
Okay. So,
That is the one that catches her interest the most.
I see. So a clan of reclusive rock gnomes resides in a small network of caves in the mountains to the southeast. The gnomes of Gnomeguard are known for their magical inventions. They might have something with which to defeat the dragon. Get whatever you can from them. If they bring back something useful and don't want to keep it for yourselves, Townmaster Harbin Wester will pay you 50 gold pieces for it. To everyone but fucking Lasser, the dragon mentioned on there is news. You guys actually weren't aware that there was a dragon problem at all yet.
There's dragons in this world?
Let me rephrase that. Okay, I see what you're getting at. All right. So, I'm going to return the other two to the board. Roy, if you want to right-click on that card and take it, and then we'll put the other ones back on the board.
Lizzie visibly vibrates in excitement.
So, if you ever need to, Roy, that is basically a contract that you have now. So that'll be how you basically turn it in when you want to get your money for it.
How do I bring it back out?
You can click on it above your Royness there.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
I see it.
You can click on it and you can drop it on the table just like as before. Ta-da! The little halfling here, she plucks a little collection quest off the board, valued at 10 gold pieces, and she's like, and she looks over at you guys and she's like, if I don't come back alive, tell them I died a hero. And it says like gather wood on the edge of town. And she
got it.
She rolls it up and she walks off into the forest, arms outstretched, foot after like big steps. It's worth
Isn't
it.
that little girl
She's gonna
precious?
stay from me, Splinter.
So,
Instead,
where is
it's-
everybody else in regards to? Are they all crowded around the
Yeah,
board?
at the moment you guys are all standing right here.
So Robin would hold up the quest paper that she just took from the board. I suggest this one. Seems to have the most reward for the least amount of dragon. She is showing you all the quest.
I hate this already. I quit.
I look at the quest very eagerly. Ooh, dragon!
That's not thing. Never mind.
No, there were dragons here!
God damn it, the dragon's gonna show up and you're gonna want to talk to it.
Goddamn right.
I'd like to examine your teeth from the inside. That'll be fine.
That'll be fine. What are your scales made of?
These nuts.
God fucking damn it.
Alright, well, I hate Upchurch.
If you're not in the campaign, you don't get to talk.
Yeah, idiot.
Okay.
Ah, fuck.
So as you're Lizzie, as you're sitting there exclaiming about dragons, a passerby happens to pass by. This character happens to be walking past you, hears you exclaiming about him, looks over, looks at you, goes to walk away, stops, turns back. You don't know much about the dragon, huh?
No, I can't say that I do. I mean, I've only read stuff about dragons, but like some dragons are very, very, very different. Like ones are like the really, really long, really skinny
Okay, I'm
ones
gonna
and
stop
really-
you there.
Uh,
I'm gonna stop you there. So that's great. That's actually kind of, I'm a little bit jealous of your ignorance. But some folks claim to have seen a dragon flying through the high clouds. At that distance, it's hard to gauge the creature's size, but some say it's as big as an elephant and has gleaming white scales. Make of that what you will, but should you come in contact with it, I'd recommend you not do that.
Do you know what the scales are made of?
And she turns and walks away.
probably death.
Probably death.
They seem kind of helpful, I guess.
That's-
Do I know where Gnomengard is?
Gnome Guard. All you know based off of that there, without asking around, is that it's a small network of caves in the mountains to the southeast. So, if you'd like, I'll pull your map up for you real quick. So you
Well, it was
guys,
just going to be a matter of whether I needed to go ask people where it is or not.
yeah. So what you do know is that it's somewhere in those mountains southeast of here. Like it's generally based off the map there, be like in like this direction. You feel me?
And that's from asking around already.
Is that what you want to do? You want to figure out exactly where it's at?
If I would like to figure out a little bit more than a general direction, I would say.
Okay, well let's see what the odds that you would find somebody who's willing to talk to a mysterious rogue in town. Roll a d100 for me.
I was gonna go straight for the barkeep at the inn or whatever, but yeah, sure.
Okay, and if this doesn't work out, then we'll see. You gotta. Okay, so you rolled low enough. As you're on your way to the tavern, you do encounter some people that are willing to point you in the right direction generally, and say that if you head, they often pass by. Shut up, Riley. If you head straight southeast past the Umbrage Hill, you're gonna come. You can't miss it if you follow there's a little river that'll run into the mountain. You follow that, and then you'll find Gnome Guard tucked away in sort of a crevice of the mountain, and they point to it on your map. And they point generally to here.
Okay.
I'm gonna move you guys back over to Fandolin.
I mean, is anyone coming on this quest with me? Or
We'll see you guys next week. Me and Roy are gonna go off on a little adventure.
Trying to think.
Lizzie is very excited,
This
as
is
she
not the
normally
quest-
is.
This is not the quest with the dragon. This is the quest where we're going to a place that typically has like cool items. Let's
Cool
see.
items are cool.
Magical. They're known for their magical inventions. That's it.
Magic?
So I've got her on board.
So,
What about you, Turtle?
what about you, Turtle?
Just kind of just sort of like leans in, just leering over. Portal.
That's what I said.
And fine.
He's like,
It sounds interesting.
So, last year is actually going to be behind. Give me a second. I gotta learn names. Behind Robin. Wait, are you actually playing a girl?
Yeah,
right,
isn't
right.
it
It's the
amazing?
first.
Whoa! Mind blown.
I was wondering when that was gonna come up.
So,
It's come up so many times, you've just never been here for it.
So Lassair has kind of been behind Robin for the most part of this. So being fairly short, standing at only about 5'4", he's gonna reach up, kind of tap Robin on her shoulder. Do you
Excuse
mind
me,
if I see that?
Still taller than her.
Really? How short is that? Holy shit!
I think I made her 5'2" or something.
I feel like this is something that should be in your bio, so I know.
Oh, it's 5'3". Yeah, she's 5'3". So he's
Okay.
Should we cover the other heights real quick?
Yeah. So we're. Yeah. I feel like I need to know this. Being a short person.
Well, Tehetin's a long boy.
Lizzie,
Well, yeah. I know
I've
he's
got a
tall.
foot on you.
Lizzie's what?
5'2".
We're all fucking.
Oh my
short.
god, I'm massive.
How tall? How tall's the turtle?
6'4"? I'm over a foot taller than the second tallest person.
Lolly party.
I want to be shorter now, just for. I was like,
no.
I formed me the
He's
shortest
like, I'm
person.
gonna make myself short. 5'4" sounds about right.
And you're taller than everybody but the turtle.
Well, and whatever Josh is playing. Unless he's a 3-foot half giant.
No, he's a big boy.
3 foot.
He's half dwarf, half giant.
Okay, so let me half gnome or half halfling, quarterling.
Yeah.
All right, so let's backtrack. Hit that rewind button. So now, Lassayer, being taller than Robin, but not by much, so he can't see completely over her shoulder, is going to tap her on the shoulder, seeing that she has the quest card. Because I imagine these are like little, like, letter type things posted on like a wanted poster kind of thing. You pull it off and you say, "I'm going to do this."
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Perfect. God, I really need to stop gesticulating back here. I wish y'all could see me. So,
That's euphemism. Continue.
shut the God. Charles, I'm trying to play a game, okay? So Lassayer's, not really being able to see it, is going to tap Robin on the shoulder and again ask if he can see it.
Robin jumps slightly, not realizing that he was right there, but then hands it to him. So there you go.
So, all right. So Lassayer is gonna kind of pore over it. He seems fairly, disinterested in the first little bit. He's kind of mumbling to himself. Gnomes, no god, no gnomes, no god or gnome for their. And as he keeps reading, he's like, okay, magical items. And then the defeat the dragon kind of just grabs his attention. So he's looking. So he kind of keeps looking. He sees the reward, and he's just kind of pondering. If we find an item that can defeat a dragon, why would we sell it? Like they're out and about. Like, this town. It's great. It's a thing, but the world changes. Chaos is out there. Destruction is out there. You can't stop destruction. All you can do is come in after the fact and fix it. So it's like almost screw the town. Like, if I need to be around to, if this town gets completely leveled, to bring it back up to from the ashes, have this town rise like a phoenix.
As he starts poring over this paper with a maniacal look on his face, I'm gonna back away.
Oh no! AK Cat is laughing.
So especially any of you who have actually met me, like, you kind of know the facial expressions that are going on right now. Everything from like really kind of not like super subtle, but they're not like, he doesn't have this like devilish grin, ear to ear, like I'm going to destroy the town. But it's like these little sly grins, eyebrow raises. So he's being very, his face is is really showing what he's, not really what he's thinking, but like the general gist of what's going through his head. So he finishes reading the quest card, gives it one final nod. Gives one final nod, and then kind of with both hands holds it out. The text facing the rest of the party. We need to do this.
We need to do these.
We need to do this.
And then he hands it. Then he hands it back to Robin.
I'm glad you're on board. I stash it back in my bag.
So we have a scientist, a turtle, a cat, and their thief.
Turtle.
Turtle, not lizard.
So with the party all in agreement, Roy, what do you do?
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry, Robin. I know what you meant.
No, you're implying I'm the party leader now. I don't like it.
For this
You're the one
quest,
who
you
asked
are.
where to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, are we all ready to go right now? Or what time is it?
This is a good question.
Currently, it's 9 a.m.
Okay, so I'm going to say that we came out here to this quest board ready to go on a quest. So, like, immediately. So, assuming that that's true for everyone,
The day is young and there are sights to see.
suppose Robin will explain to the party the instructions that she heard from others. Something, a river, follow the river, and it goes right to Nomengard. So, to the river.
All right. So you guys will be.
I do want to do one, or I guess, meh.
Wow, that was a lot. You okay there?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's just a lot. If possible, before we leave town,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote, since Lassair kind of knows we're about to start, traipsing about in the wilds,
Uh-huh.
he wants to kind of take note of the sky and see if he can, with his time spent in nature, he thinks he can, almost predict weather patterns and what may or may not happen. So he's going to kind of look at the sky and just kind of, lick his finger, hold it up,
Mm-hmm.
kind of, and try to sense if he can feel any kind of,
Right.
inclement weather that might be coming in.
Give me a nature check.
One nature check coming right up, good sir.
All right. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. So you, you lick your finger, stick it up in the air. The wind blows, and the wind tells you that there's a storm blowing in from the coast. However, where you are and to the east currently is in a relatively semi-cloudy sky.
So it's partly overcast.
Yeah,
you'd
partly
say?
overcast with a 30% chance of rain.
God
All
damn
he
it.
has to do is call me a cock gobbler and use my weather app.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so after kind of testing the weather, or tasting the weather more so,
Mhm.
he's just gonna kind of think, look at it, like kind of, saying chew on his lip is wrong, but he's just gonna have like this very pondering face as he kind of thinks. Then he just shrugs and follows the party.
I was gonna suggest that the druid lead the way through the woods. That's just me.
That makes way too much sense. We're not doing that.
Well, I'll also point out that as you guys begin heading southeast, you note that there are no woods.
It is all hills.
It is all
Yes.
hills. There's the occasional tree here and there, but no woods.
Well, God, if I had a map, then maybe I would know.
That's right there.
Using my military grade topography skills, I actually cannot tell if those are actually not hills. Those are depressions.
All right. Look at that.
Yeah. I learned about depression in the military as well, so.
That is a conversation for another time. By the way, stop making jokes. Jordan.
I'll be honest. I thought these were like huts.
You have a key.
This one's named Pizza.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I see the key now. I see it.
Please. What is
But
the
I
word they
don't
use?
see a river over here.
So it's not big enough to be featured on the map, but you know that you were told there was some kind of creek, trail, flowing river, etc., flowing in this direction. If you can find it, that'll lead you to where you're trying to go.
Okay, I'm going to close my eyes and listen. Do I hear water?
No.
I do hear water.
Okay, you, Roy, actually do hear water because it's a sound effect.
Yes.
But Robin does not.
Goddamn.
So if you guys are trying to find it, you can make a
Ruined my
survival check
immersion.
for me. When you guys are traveling, you'll need to have somebody who is navigating, somebody who is scouting if you're scouting, somebody who is foraging if you're foraging, and if you want to do any other actions while you're traveling, let me know. But you have to have a navigator. Someone is leading the way. Anything else?
Lily volunteers
I
to
nominate the
forage.
druid for navigating.
Okay. So the druid will be the one that rolls his survival to see if he can navigate it.
DC's dumb idea. All right, so I'm rolling survival.
Trying to find that river. Creek pond.
I didn't know that I was playing D&D the army, getting voluntold for shit.
Yeah, you are a literal ranger. Okay.
Oh no.
Good.
Oh no.
Fuck, see,
So
that's what you get.
you guys go traipsing around in the hills there
Lieutenant.
for a little while, and at a certain point,
You have a +3.
as you guys are walking, you find yourself atop a hill, inside this area, and Lassaire, he stands up, puts his hands on his hips, turns back, and says, "I have no idea where we are." Make the group, as a group, make a perception check.
I was banking on somebody in this party to be perceptive,
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
because it's not me.
Yeah, they're gonna have to tell you where the things are.
Nice.
Well, me and the turtle over there.
Alright, so two things have happened. First thing, to your southeast, you guys see a little creek flowing in between the hills, heading generally in this direction. Having said that, to your southwest, you look up, and in the sky, you see a dragon. Flying high, looking down on the ground, searching for prey. What do you do?
Oh my god.
But
Oh,
this is just me, but I recommend we get off the hill.
So, yeah, is there any little collection of trees nearby at least?
So
Anything?
there are sparse trees within. There's like 2 or 3 clustered around, about 150 feet away, towards the southeast, towards the creek. And other than that, just scattered hills and things of that nature.
How deep is the water in the? I know you said it's a creek.
I mean, from where you're standing, looking down at it, it wouldn't be any deeper than maybe your shins for your shortest person. You know what I mean?
I feel
Okay,
like we
is
should go to those trees.
And it's at this point, I don't know where we are either, but I know that's a no. That's a creek. Go! And I'm moving.
Yeah, I'm moving.
I'm moving towards that to that little cluster of trees and hoping for the best.
Okay, make an athletics. For anybody who's going for it, make an athletics check. See how fast you get there.
Okay.
Initially, and also I'm gonna see
Oh, God.
what are the odds he sees you.
no, not athletic.
Can I use my bedroll to try to pretend to be a rock?
You wanna try to hide under your bedroll, not look at
Yeah, and pretend to be a rock. Yes.
Wow, that's gonna be an interesting one. Yeah, you can. You absolutely can. What I need you to do is it's kind of a weird roll, but I don't know what to tell you to roll on a pretend to be a rock.
Performance.
Nature?
Yeah,
Stealth?
let's do stealth. Let's do stealth. I was thinking like deception because you're deceiving the dragon into thinking that you're a rock, but then it's like it's like you're not talking to him. So let's go for your stealth. Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Jesus.
So you guys go dashing across the field. Well, some of you
To
do.
the best of our abilities.
Yeah, some of you go running across the field. Some of you in just Robin in absolute fear and shock of the dragon keeps falling down. Whereas Lassaire takes his bedroll out and just onto the ground. And the dragon
Inside of him.
The dragon swoops around to make another pass. Let's see the rate at which he does that. Okay. Everyone makes it to the tree line except Robin.
Hi.
Robin has not made it to the tree line as the dragon begins to turn towards you guys.
Shoot.
He has not spotted you yet. He had a pretty low perception roll. Having said that, Robin, you have enough time for one action. What is it?
What's around me? Is it just literally an open field and nothing else?
Sort of. It's hilly terrain, so it's kind of like you ever been walking through you ever been walking in an actual creek and there's like different elevations in it and little cuts into the terrain and all that. There's areas around you. Do you want to try to find a place to hide within the creek, or do you want to try to get back to the trees? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking of trying to find a place to hide right
How far
around
away
where I
is
am, where
Ryan
I
from the
am
rest of
right
us?
now.
She's about 75 feet or so. But
Yeah.
what I want you to do is roll a d100, and let's see what the odds that there's some kind of little divot. You have to beat a 57 or lower. All right. So,
Silver lining, I have Spirit of the Dying.
so as far as like obvious hiding
I'm just gonna be
places,
picked up.
yeah, as far as obvious hiding places and things like that, there is nothing. So what you have is you have 75 feet or so away, which would take you a couple seconds, about 15 seconds to get to, are Tehetin and Lizzie. On the ground, farther back, under a bedroll, is Lasair. You are
I should have gotten a bedroll.
you are near the creek, with no immediate signs. You can still try to hide, don't get me wrong, but there is no immediate signs of like guaranteed shelter. What are you thinking?
I'm near the creek.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like right by it.
Yeah, like you could reach it. Like it's 15 feet away.
Splish.
Yeah, I think my best bet is to just jump in the water. I know it's really shallow, but if I lay down, maybe I'll just blend into the water.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Dive,
See,
dive, dive.
That's what I should have just done this from the beginning.
Jesus. fuck.
She
Yeah,
throws
that was
herself
son of
down
me.
into the creek, holds her breath, and
inside.
lays under the water. All right.
I was like, I need to be able to stealth.
Yeah. So the
Where'd you
dragon,
go?
the dragon comes in and lands next to Lasair, like immediately next to him. He can smell you guys. He knows you're there. He can feel it, but he can't find you.
Oh god, dragon noises? Are you serious?
He lands and he starts looking around for you, trying to find you, and he says in his low, guttural... Does anybody speak Draconic?
Nope.
Okay, you don't know what he's saying, but it's this very low, guttural, taunting voice. You don't speak Draconic, but if I know you're here, was obvious speech, you could pick up on that. And he's looking around for you, he's sniffing, and he passes by Lasair on the ground, passing him up as a rock. As he walks, he comes to the creek, and he looks down, and in the creek he sees various rocks and debris and wood flowing through the stream towards Phandalin. And he continues on past, through the hills. Make a stealth check, Tehetin and Lizzie.
Do I have a moment to quickly cast a bless?
Yes. Because
Okay.
when he landed, you would have been doing that.
Okay, yeah. I pop a bless on myself and Lizzie.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, wait a minute. Hold on. Attack roll or saving throw? Never mind. The saving throws, attack rolls. Good
Okay,
luck.
That's fine. Go ahead and make your stealth check.
Yep. Stealthy, 6 foot. Oh no.
Oh no.
Charles will
Can I,
do
note, can I note that at that moment I am
Go in your
falling into
shell.
the shell? Swoop.
So Lizzie is standing behind a tree, back to it. On the other side of the tree is the dragon walking up, and he looks down and he sees this turtle shell, and he starts prodding it, licking it, pushing it around, moving it about, and he starts to like play with it with his teeth, biting on it. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh dear. I should
Well, you have that bless.
Well, I didn't actually. Well,
Yeah, it works.
I was saying I didn't. I know since I knew bless didn't count for
Okay.
checks. I didn't cast it,
Okay.
unfortunately.
We won't play it then.
Fuck.
Too easy.
Heck. Constitution saving throw. Doesn't matter. I have a fucking +4.
So you don't get like your turtle shell is not breached. You do not squirm. You do not give any inclinations that you are alive in there. What are the odds that he's ever seen a turtle in his life to know what it is? I'm gonna say there's a 21% chance. He's never seen a turtle before. This is strange to him. And he thinks about other creatures shedding their skin, other things leaving things behind, and he thinks, strange. And he reaches out with one of his claws, and he bats you aside. You take 3 bludgeoning damage as you ding 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 ding.
I think how much?
You're gonna take 3 bludgeoning damage as you get bashed away by a dragon. And he in frustration sniffs outwards, freezing the ground in front of him as it does. One of the trees that it lands on, that it hits, freezes over and begins to basically like turn this icy blue up the tree, the one that Lizzie is standing behind. Lizzie, make a Constitution saving throw to see if the cold affects you.
Oh god.
Man, I should have used that bless. Oh, okay.
Lizzie manages to keep her composure. She does not sneeze, she does not squeal, she does not squeak. The dragon turns, sees a deer running off down the hill, leaps into the air, flies to it, takes it in a single grasp, and flies away towards the southeast, the deer caught in its talons as it goes. You survived.
Damn it!
Oh my god.
We actually got the fucking dragon.
I was tempted to show Corey the roll.
But you didn't want a reaction.
I didn't want a reaction. I rolled it and I looked and it said these hills. I'm not gonna say the exact location because it's a named location, but it's these hills. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But you survived.
Titan just pops out of the shell. Oh.
Robin popped out of the water.
It's funny because if that had lasted any longer, I was gonna make you do suffocation checks. Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
Lizzie is frozen to the tree. Like, not literally, but she's just
a look of petrification. Oh god.
pretty much.
Yeah, get to my feet.
Just wait.
As
She's
the
about
music
to.
swells, apparently.
I'm using my context clues to say the dragon's gone.
Yeah.
Nice. As I get to my feet. Where are the other two? as Robin.
Like a Maybelline commercial, she just throws her hair back, comes up out.
It's a Canadian.
Yeah, come up to Lizzie. You fine?
Yeah, of course,
That's
I'm fine.
your curiosity.
I'm fine.
That satisfy your curiosity. That's great.
Nope, it does not. I have so many questions.
I should have made you roll to see if he just walked around the tree and asked him what his name was.
What's your name?
What's your
In
favorite
shock.
color? Don't say
Dragon
blue.
doesn't eat you.
Don't say
Lizzie.
blue.
I've never met a dragon, but I want to know what your name was. Like I said, my name's Lizzie.
I was telling my
glad.
friend how I failed this athletics save and almost died to a dragon. He's like, "You're a rogue. You should have done an acrobatic check and cartwheel."
Just cartwheel all the way to the
Cartwheel
tree line. Rolls a nat 20 and just like wheels past everybody.
Yeah, just the fucking the Power Ranger fucking backflips.
All right, so having
I'm
survived the
glad
dragon
you
encounter,
maintained yourself doing that. I start heading out towards Robin. I'm looking around to see where the cat is.
All right, so while everyone's looking for La Saire, all you see at the top of the hill, all of a sudden this rock explodes. And there's a short cat man holding out his short sword with a ball of flame in his offhand and just pointing his sword around.
Where's he at? Where's he at? I'm not afraid.
So, start making my way up to him. While he's doing it, you might be a little late for that.
Probably for the best.
arguably, we won.
If living is a victory, then yes, we won.
I feel
so
like
frozen.
living is victory.
And I just kind of pop my neck a bit. Oh,
I'm still laying on the creek side.
you're just
Just
So-
laying.
well. I guess there is a dragon.
There is
So-
a dragon.
So seeing the danger has passed, Lossier's just gonna toss his little little flame because I use the produced flame cantrip. I'm just gonna toss it up and let it just kind of dissipate while I sheath my sword and start packing up my bedroll.
Quick question. That other quest, I can't remember it that well, but was it just information on the dragon?
Do you remember what it was called?
The other 50
You're
G.
referring to the dwarven one?
Yeah, the dwarven one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one.
That one was to deliver news of the dragon to them.
Well, we have information.
We technically read the quest. We didn't pick it up, but we can still complete it.
Yeah, but you'd have to do
We
it
can
from.
go
You'd
back,
have to do
pick
it
it up, and then do it.
So you'd have to do it from memory though, because you don't have access to the quest card anymore.
Do we remember where the hell we were supposed to go to deliver that news?
I think it was somewhere near Baldur's Gate.
Shut up.
We can always, when we go back to the town to finish this quest, we can look at that quest again, assuming that it's
We
still
finish this quest.
If we live.
there.
This one has his doubts.
All right. Well, so
I don't mean to be a pain, but it seems that I am petrified and fear to the tree.
Well, all my friends are trees.
Your friends come down with a cold, looking at the tree that she's locked herself to.
So Lassair's gonna walk over to the frozen tree, and I'll throw it if you want me to. But he's gonna use the produce flame cantrip to try to thaw the tree.
okay. Yeah, you succeed. It's a tree. It's not going to try to dodge. And you begin to you place your produce flame, and you begin to start thawing out the tree. And interestingly
Lizard's still
enough,
binding
it
to
does quite rapidly begin to melt the ice, and the tree make a nature check.
What?
Make a nature check for me.
Okay. Yeah. Let me scroll up.
You determine that the tree is alive, and if trees could feel feelings, it would be grateful.
I'm pretty sure there's something in there about Lassair that I might not have written down somewhere, but he does believe that very animistic, so everything has a spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of picked up on that.
Is Lizzie still frozen?
Yes.
She wasn't
Lassair-
literally frozen.
Lassair takes his flame and just kind of puts it near Lizzie, unsure if she's like frozen, like actually frozen or frozen in fear.
And
Is this helping?
to spare my roommates, Lizzie will scream. I'm not going to actually scream.
It's no fun.
And then like run away
What?
in a random direction.
Roll 1d4 to pick a direction.
I'm down.
You run south.
Well,
Well, at least she can only go so far south.
Just following the
mountains.
river. Or the creek.
This one did not expect that.
I guess that'll work. Let's go.
I'm standing and wringing out my clothes before moving along the river after.
So Lassair walks over to Robin with his flame. Tries to dry her out.
Thank you.
I want it noted while she's running. She's screaming, "There's a Panthera part is trying to kill me!"
So, as you guys follow as you guys follow the creek south, you follow a stream uphill to the base of the mountain, where waterfall erosion has carved out a natural concavity. The roaring waterfall creates a cloud of mist as it plunges into a shallow pool of water. within which rise 2 small islands covered by 2-foot-tall red, green, and purple mushrooms. Several cave openings overlook the pool from rocky ledges 20 to 30 feet above. The mountain blocks any sunlight from reaching this place. What do you do?
So there's
I
First thing,
investigate the mushrooms.
Yeah, first thing, Lotsire is still gonna keep his flame out. It says it's getting dark. It's darkness. So
But so we can see everything pictured, correct?
Correct.
Like there's no okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we see the little openings.
I've already pre-checked all this stuff, yeah. So everything that you can see, and everything that was described there. You see the little elevation markers showing, like heightened areas and all that. So you're free to maneuver however you like. I'll let you know if you need to roll for anything. And obviously, guys, if you're I'll judge we'll say your rate of travel, the rate your tokens moving across the screen is kind of like your speed. So if you just dash across, then I'm going to take that as you're not being aware of anything. But you also don't have to doot while following the creek either. Just, it makes sense.
No error key movement, damn.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't have grids on for this one. Not unfortunately, I prefer it that way.
So Lotsire is just gonna kind of mosey down the creek.
Okay.
Not terribly slow, but slow enough where he's kind of looking around. He's looking at the creek, just kind of taking in the environment. He notices the mushrooms and wants to look more at them, and so that's kind of where he's going. So that's his major focus, but he's still kind of looking around for just anything. Just trying to like I said, situational awareness and getting to know his surroundings.
No problem.
That's just a regular old rope bridge.
That is correct. It is a regular rope bridge. And then as you approaching towards the concavity here, you can see that the mushrooms, as mentioned before, are about 2 feet tall. And the water is about 3.5 feet deep.
Lizzie has eyes just for the mushrooms.
Fucking druggy.
Fucking druggy.
Do you think those mushrooms are part of the Amina Muscaria?
The what?
The Amanita Muscaria. The super toxic mushrooms?
Sure.
Call them death traps like everyone else.
These one things, if you eat one, you'll find out, but does not recommend it. Kind of digging the Khajiit thing. We're gonna stick with that.
Okay.
Okay, there's no all these cliff facings. There's nothing else really. There's just that one little path I see to the east-ish direction.
Over here?
Oh, yeah, I don't see any. There's no other there's no ladders. Nothing
I mean, is there,
on the other
like-
cliff facings.
That's
On
not
the
so
other-
that we can go up, right?
No, that's a path. You're correct.
I was saying there's no other ladder. There's no ladders or anything up these other cliff facings.
So from what you can see of that, though, the thing about it is that it is very small. That is not as wide as any of you are, especially not Tahetan.
Obviously not.
And that's it's still a path, but that's what you
Path
notice.
for gnomes.
I am exceptionally wider than this path. Yeah.
Now the waterfall has created sort of like a perpetual mist in this area down here. So you do notice that it's a bit foggy, not necessarily anything that you can't see through, just a bit foggy.
Just kind of looking around. What were we here for again?
I think we were looking for gnomes.
Nah, just
Hello, are there any gnomes
echoing
here?
call. Gnomes of Northern God.
So as you guys call out,
We're in a really bad place if the gnomes are hostile.
We'll find out now, won't we?
a gnome.
Everyone has high ground.
A
except
gnome appears at the top of that 30-foot cliff there, and he looks down and he says, "Well, hello there."
No.
Well, hello.
What can I do for you?
I motion
Hey,
to.
hey, hey!
Do you have
Are-
wares?
Lizzie's gonna point to the mushroom and go, "Are those part of the Aminata muscaria mushroom family?"
That's a lot of consonants you use there, lady.
We are but humble gnome folk.
They're toxic.
Well, you asked me a question, I'll ask you a question. Would any of you happen to be shape changers? That's what a shape changer would say, and he turns around, billows his cloak dramatically, and walks back inside.
Oh, so they weren't looking for shape changers for a purpose. They don't like them.
Gather.
This one thinks they have issue with shape changers.
I kind of come back towards the cliff. We had questions about dragons.
He props his hand up on the wall and he says, "Well, you may have questions. Doubt I've got answers. How can I help you?"
I point over to Robin.
What the scales are made of?
Well, on a little trip to find if you have anything for dragons. There might be one about.
Anything
Might have tried to eat us.
like
Specifically to defeat a dragon.
This one would like to point out he tried to eat you.
so you're saying you want something that could fight a dragon?
That is the general idea, yes.
I came to the
Especially if it is another dragon.
when we got here, I came to the conclusion that we have no money to buy anything from them, and I don't think they're just gonna give us anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't help you. And he goes to walk away, and he says, "But I suppose Fibblestib and Dabbledob probably could. Come on in." And he waves, and then just walks off, giving no instruction as to how. He's just, well, come on then.
I look around. Is there any obvious way up this fucking cliff?
It's a cliff face. I mean, it's, you can use your brain, but you know that it's 30 feet up, 20 feet up, 20 feet up, and so on and so forth. There is no obvious ways up, we'll say.
I just gotta look back. I gotta look over to Lizzie. Ow.
And you hear from inside, "Well, come on then, are you coming or what?"
How do we do that?
He's like, he comes stomping out. Keep in mind, this guy's 3 feet tall. little Keebler elf head pops over the side, and he's like, "So you come here wanting to fight dragons, you can't find your way up a cliff."
Do you climb this thing?
Maybe I
Every
do.
day?
Maybe I do.
I would like.
Okay, so go ahead.
I would like to climb it.
Okay. Tell me by what manner you're climbing it.
Well, I have some pittons. Is that how you say them? The
Probably.
little things,
Pitons,
little
pittons.
steel pittons.
Tons.
Yeah, Python sounds less
Tom.
like kittens, so we're gonna go with that.
It's for climbing.
So yeah, to use those and rope so that I can make a path up for other people who could climb a rope, and then
That rope holds 415 pounds.
hashtag ninja things.
Okay.
Rope.
Alright.
Rope.
Then make an athletics check for me.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics is climbing.
God damn it.
While she's making
Yeah,
that
I've got
roll,
something too.
so I'll kind of leave this up to how you want to play it, Jordan, because it's technically a combat-based thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Lassair, having cat's claws, he already has a climbing speed of 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
But he also has a racial trait of feline agility.
Mm-hmm.
So it says it technically specifies when you move on your turn in combat, you can double your speed until the end of turn, and you can't use that again until you move 0 feet on one of your turns.
Yeah,
Basically, you get a 6-second burst of doubling your speed, but you have to take a pause afterwards.
Well, that's the thing.
Yes.
So climbing, yes. So you can climb that with your feline trait, your 20-foot climb speed. The thing is that you're climbing against rock, so you still suffer a lot of the penalties. It's just you would be more innately able to do it than say like Robin, right? But she's overcome that by using Pythons. You see what I'm getting at? So you wouldn't need Pythons. That's kind of how that's going to work out in this scenario. So feel free to do that if you like. You certainly can. That is, to answer your question, that is an option. It just wouldn't be like, I can just scale 30 feet of cliff for funsies.
All right, so Lassayer is going to kind of step back, look at the cliff from bottom to top, just kind of looking for any kind of protrusions that may help in the ascent.
Mm-hmm.
Like little outcroppings or incroppings
A
or
rope.
other croppings. Ignoring the rope.
Apparently.
And he's just going to kind of pop his neck, stretch his arms out, and then just kind of dash at the cliff and try to scale it.
Make an athletics check. All right. So.
God fucking damn.
So, Robin, one Python at a time, you start burrowing into the cliff with your rope passing along behind you, tying it off as you go, creating sort of falling points and everything. And
then the stupid cat just sprints past me.
so yeah, you're sweating. It's hard, laborious work. Takes you 10 minutes to get up there, and as you're just about to crest the surface of the cliff, yeah, a cat just runs past you, basically on 2 legs at this point. Just runs past you and arrives up top first. But you do arrive atop the cliffs, and there now is a rope hanging down for people who want to try and use the rope.
How many pythons did I use for that?
You're going to use 1 Python every 5 feet.
Okay.
So at the end of his ascent, Lassayer is going to kind of do a pose, not unlike a pole vaulter who just stuck a landing.
Impressive, no.
Yeah,
He's going to look for a potential other way up.
Yeah, I kind of walk up to the Pythons. I pull on the rope. Do these things look like they're gonna hold my ass?
Well, she's tied them off with each Python, and she's burrowed each Python in. Whether or not they're gonna hold, how much do you weigh total?
415 plus 30 pounds of gear.
Yeah. So, yeah, it seems sturdy. You can't say anything for sure.
And look at it.
Go in your shell if you start to fall. Let Lizzie up first before
I just kind of make one last call up. You sure there's no other way?
Lizzie's looking for another way.
Jabby, the gnome, he looks down and he's like, well, there's always another way, unless there isn't. And pops his little head over and looks at you.
I pull on the rope again. I pull out my hammer. Did it already look like there were any good, solid footholds, steps built in?
No, definitely no. There's no steps that you see. However, you do see down here there are steps that work their way around, kind of sort of connecting the 2 areas, but you'd have to be already scaled.
Okay. Well, I pulled my warhammer out. Cleric of the Fort, and I bash into the fucking rock to try and take a chunk out I'm gonna start repeating this all the way up.
Wow.
He's Minecrafting it.
You're
taking a chunk out of the fucking rock. Foothold, handhold, climb.
He's Minecrafting it.
Make an attack roll against the rock. Jesus Christ.
The first one I'm gonna 2-hand it because I can.
Yeah. Okay. So Tehetan, he starts bashing a staircase into the side of the wall. After your first couple of thwacks against it, you notice that it's going to take some honest effort, and it would probably take you an hour at this pace to get up there. How do you proceed?
Is there any way I could just try and beat, just make a small handhold foothold deal instead of trying to beat a staircase in? warming up. I'm just trying to take chunks out to grab so I can grab onto
Mhm.
something.
It'll take you 6 minutes to ascend, and it'll take you an athletics check.
Cool. I'm start breaking their fucking mountain.
All right.
Athletics check to ascend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
All right. So you start bashing little divots into the side of the hill, and as you're doing this, those of you who are up top notice several gnomes who were asleep have now woken up and are now walking groggy-eyed down, like, "What's all that noise then?" And there's one that's like, "Is someone trying to bash holes in the side of the mountain to climb up better, more efficiently?" And they're like, "Actually, yes, that's exactly what's happening." And they're like, "Well, someone put a stop to him." And the one walks by and he's like, all right, fine, I'll hit him with a rock. And he walks over and he takes a little rock and he says, "Hey, you!" And you look up, he says, "Quit that!" And he throws it down and bops you in the head, and you fall 10 feet down to the ground, taking 1 bludgeoning damage.
Kill everything here.
Charles, your character is gonna die for random shit in the first session.
Oh, just accumulation.
Assuming Lizzie is not below me, I just fall straight and just straight back, just kind of laying on the top of my shell.
Lizzie, make a dexterity saving throw.
God damn it.
First
I'm gonna get
concussion.
smooshed.
6 bludgeoning damage. Nice.
Lizzie, you're sitting there and you're studying the various areas, trying to find a new way up, and all of a sudden, like beneath your feet, there's this shadow, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you can't figure out why. And then at the last second, you look up and you see this turtle falling at you, and you just dive out of the way, and you land in the creek here.
How
Robin's
deep is
gonna
the creek?
shout-
It is 3 feet deep.
Robin's gonna shout down to Lizzie, assuming that her head's above water at this point. Hey, Lizzie. I'm waiting for a response.
Yeah.
You know there's a narrow path across the way over there, and she's like pointing to like there. You could probably fit up that if you walk like sideways. The turtle can't.
I just gotta none of my limbs are touching the ground, just like balanced on the back of my shell, just looking up. Hammer
You should
still in
probably
one
roll him over first, though.
hand. I can take care of myself.
I would hope so, because Lizzie can't.
I just yeah, no kidding. I just kind of
This one presses F to doubt.
Lizzie, as you walk past the mushrooms, you begin sneezing uncontrollably.
Okay, well, I want it noted that in between sneezes, it's like, achoo! Oh, is this from the? Achoo! Oh, this is fast. Achoo!
I just Titan at this point is just put his hammer back on his side. He's still laying on the back of his shell. His just arms are crossed. I'll be down here. And it's kind of you just watch his head shrink into his shell.
You could at least try the method that I left there for you, and you know, if it doesn't work, then at least I get my pittance back.
Python.
So,
My head pops back out, kind of glares a little bit, pops back in.
so Lassayer kind of leans over the edge, just looking at.
Head in shell, arms are still crossed.
Are we pronouncing it Tahetan or Tahitian? Or
Titan.
Tahiten?
Say it again.
Titan?
Totten?
Titan? Okay, I'm calling you
Titan.
Titan. I'm calling you Titan. So,
You wouldn't be the first.
so Lassayer's gonna kind of peer over the edge. Well, Titan. This one thinks you should come out of your shell and socialize. Yes.
No response.
I want a sample of the mushrooms.
You want a sample of the mushrooms?
Yeah, Lizzie actually screams that.
Okay.
This one
I don't know if you're
She's
actually
walking.
taking them or not.
Yeah. Legs,
Yeah.
legs and head are retracted into shell, arms are just crossed. Titan is not moving.
So Lassayer turns to Robin and kind of sideways nods towards Lizzie. This one thinks this short one is weird. Yes.
She's something.
So,
I prefer the term eccentric.
Lizzie, you notice a barely 2 foot wide path leading
Not a fucking chance.
30
now.
feet up the hill.
I check my bags for anything I could hold like a piece of the mushroom in. Like
Yeah.
a vial
Yeah.
in my alchemist supplies.
Yep, you have little vials and jars and stuff like that.
Okay. I cast Mage Hand.
Okay, roll a d20.
D20. Oof.
Your mage hand casts, but your skin turns a vibrant shade of blue as you do.
Just from
It-
cast Mage Hand?
Well, not explicitly, but yes, when you cast your mage hand, your skin turns a vibrant shade of blue as you do. What does your mage hand do?
Fascinating. First, I'm looking at my skin like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Was this caused by the mushrooms? I wonder if this is an interesting reaction. I must get a sample. And my mage hand goes over to the mushrooms.
Okay. You notice there are green, red, and purple mushrooms.
She is blue, this one thinks. Dabba-dee, dabba-die.
Now.
How big are they?
The mushrooms are 2 feet tall each, but they are thin. They are very skinny, with about 2 feet wide. What would you call the top of a mushroom? A cap? Yeah, 2 feet wide
Yes.
caps.
Would it be possible for my mage hand to like break off a piece of the mushroom?
Absolutely.
Because I don't think that a 2 feet tall mushroom is going to fit in one of her tiny vials.
Probably not.
Okay, so that's what my mage hand is going to do. It's going to break off a couple pieces from each of the different mushrooms.
Okay. So it breaks off a little green piece, brings it back over to you. Breaks off a little red piece, brings it back over to you. And as it breaks off a purple piece, roll a d20.
Ooh, cool. Oh god,
Three.
not cool.
All right. You sprout wings like those of a butterfly. You now have a flying speed of 30 feet.
Head pops up. What are?
What the hell? Hey, turtle, go touch the mushroom.
Please go get some fucking fairy wings for the turtle.
So Lizzie's gonna put those little pieces in one of her vials and like cork it, make sure it's nice and tight, and put it in her bag, and just gonna fly back.
Okay, your little fairy wings, or butterfly wings, fly you back over.
As she's flying over, just tracking.
And then, the gnome that's standing next to Robin and Lassair, he's like, she's the magic one then. Well, come on up here and I'll tell you all about it.
Does that only work on people with magic?
Well, there's wild magic here. Casting
shit.
any spell while in Gnome Guard will result in some wild and crazy effect. Sometimes they're fun. Sometimes they're, and he looks over to a little box with ooze coming out of it. Sometimes they're not so fun.
Can I fly up this hill?
Yes.
Oh, it's not necessarily the mushrooms that caused it.
It is. It's the mushrooms, specifically the purple ones. They grow naturally here, and they eke out wild magics. And he
All I
looks-
heard was a squeak.
I don't even
Oh my
care.
God,
I
you're fucking up.
don't even care that I couldn't hear that. That just fit perfectly.
the gnome looks over the cliff one more time and says, "Hey, Turtle Stew, are you coming or not?"
Just kind of glaring at. My arms are still crossed, just kind of glaring.
This one apologizes for the turtle. He is not a fun guy.
Well, we have plenty of fun guy around here, and he ribs you and walks away.
Head back in the shell.
He motions for you guys to follow him. And he says, "Once you have your turtle in tow, you can come on, or not."
I did. I lost which one he was.
Are you saying that all gnomes look the same? Fucking racist.
Oh, fucking racist. As you guys come in, several of them start eyeing you guys suspiciously. You hear murmurs of, "Which one's the loud one?" And then the one that showed you guys in, he's like, "Oh, he's still out there." And he says, "Welcome to Gnome God. You're gonna want to speak to. Let me read my paper. You're gonna want to speak to Fibblestib and Dabbledob just down that way." And he points down the stairs behind him. They could probably help you out.
She.
As you guys start walking, he starts banging on the walls, and he's like, "You got company!" And as you guys come around the corner, you hear them arguing. They're saying one of the higher pitched voice is saying, "Okay, hear me out. We can hit him with a sanity ray, and that will remove the insanity from his body." To which the other one, the female, is like, "Well, that's just hogwash. That's crap. Instead, we're going to use my new invention. I call it a straight jacket. Should hold him in place forever." As you guys walk in, they look up and they're like, "Can we help you?"
We are looking for a method to fight a dragon.
And they look at each other.
And heard that you two might know of such a method.
Would one of those straight jackets work?
I,
On a dragon? I doubt it.
would you be the one to put it on?
This one is not putting it on.
So
Put it on the dragon, I mean.
So
This one is not doing that either.
So Dabbledob, he's sitting there and he's got his arm crossed and he's got one hand on his chin and he's tapping and he's thinking, And he looks over at Fibblestib and he says, "I'm thinking they can help us." And they both look at you guys with their little eyebrows raised.
This one knows that look.
Help you with.
Well, first of all, we have to give you guys the interrogation. So, if you'll all please follow me, and they point to you as you guys walk over here in this little against the wall here. If you could please just stand against the wall, we're gonna interrogate you guys.
What kind of interrogation? Is it going to involve a lot of pain? I'm not very good with pain.
Oh, it's going to be terrible.
Hmm.
And Fibblestib, she walks up. She gets real close, squints, and says, "Are any of you shape changers?"
So, last night are going to get extremely dramatic, as if this is just the worst interrogation ever. Just falling to his knees and groveling.
And you? He looks at Lizzie. Or she looks at Lizzie.
If you mean that, changing the where my atoms really are and how they work with each other, then no.
Damn it.
And looks over at Robin. "And are you a shape changer?"
No.
And she claps her hands together and walks away. "Oh, they check out. They're good." Walks away and says, "All right. Well, we'll let you in on a little information," says Dabbledob. He says, "A few weeks ago, King Nerkly was captured by his husband, King Korbaz, and taken into their chambers and locked there. Reason being is because a rug tried to eat him. Which, I mean, can you blame the guy? And since then, gnomes have been going
Am
missing."
I having a stroke? He was kidnapped by his husband, and because a rug tried to eat him?
Yes.
Okay.
And they won't come out, no matter how much we ask, and no matter how many treats we try to give them. They will not come out. And my thought is that I said a sanity ray, but my compatriot here is stupid. So, short of that, we were thinking if someone were to bring him evidence that the shape changer had been killed, that might do the trick. It's worth a shot, we figure. The problem is shape changers, thus the name, change their shape. It could be anything. It could be you. It could be me. I have no idea. It could be a barrel. It could be a sword on the wall. I have no idea. But they are terribly deadly, and Jimble Jamble, God rest his soul. We've already lost one of our own.
So this one has question.
And this one, he points to Fibblestib, probably has the answer.
Is this
Is the rug still around?
Well, I mean, I haven't. You know, in hindsight, we don't have any rugs in Gnomeguard. That should have raised an eyebrow, but I haven't seen a rug since.
This is perplexing, yes.
So are you asking us to find the shape changer?
Yes, if you find the shape changer, then we will find something to make it worth your while. And he goes digging through his pockets, pulls out a few buttons and strings, and he's like, likely not any of this. Let's see. Lassaire, you do notice that in their workshop here, there's all kinds of like little shelves and stuff along the walls. And you do notice a few things in the room, little alchemical ingredients, little knickknacks, little tinkerer's tools. There appears to be some kind of book on a pedestal, and little things like that. This looks like a little looks like a little techno magic workshop almost, if that makes sense. But that's what you, as this is going on, that's what you pick up on.
Does Lizzie pick up on it?
Did he say Lizzie?
Well, Lizzie, you'll have to make a perception check.
I will make a perception check.
All right.
Gosh, get on.
Lizzie, you do not pick up on that outside of the idea that this is a workshop of some kind. I will say that since you are scientifically inclined, you do know you know for sure that this is a science or a magical workshop of some kind, but you don't really notice any of the particulars that Lassaire did.
So Lassaire is going to kind of. You said it's over like.
How to make it go ping?
Hold left click. Yeah, there's like imagine shelves lining the walls there, and
Okay.
around the room as well. You know, over here in the corner, things like that.
All right. So Lassaire's just gonna, fairly intrigued because he doesn't see this stuff too terrible often, but he does notice the book. But he kind of goes around looking at all the trinkets and tools and things, and just can't help himself. So he kind of goes around just like tapping things with his claw, kind of some things he if he finds it interesting, he'll pick them up, kind of fiddle with it, put it back.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of going around the room, doing this to practically everything until he comes to this book.
Okay.
And is the book open or closed?
It's closed when you pick it up.
So it's still okay. So he's just coming to it. So it's still on the pedestal.
Yeah. What languages do you speak?
Obviously common, druidic, primordial, and dwarvish.
In common, you read on the cover of the book, "Magic of Gnomeguard." As you read this, Fibblestib walks over, taps you on the knee, and is like, "Do you just normally walk around picking up people's things and fiddling with them?"
It is a bad habit, yes.
It is a very bad habit. Put my book down.
I did not pick it up.
You did. You literally just told me you did.
Well, I said he was picking up other things, and then I said he was walking towards the book.
Ah, okay. Well, you picked the book up.
All right, so Lassaire kind of puts it back down, then proceeds to using a single claw, opens it, just flips the cover.
As you flip the cover, Fibblestib reaches up, closes it. Make a perception check.
Is Lassaire a speed reader?
You notice that the first entry in the book is burning hands. It appears to be a spell book. But she closes the book.
Okay, so Lassaire just kind of takes the hint, but kind of starts shuffling away, but not before, and trying to keep it subtle so the gnomes don't notice. He looks at Robin, kind of just whistling a little tune, but nodding, very subtly at the book.
You trying to tell Robin to steal it?
That is for that one to decide.
I don't know. Personally, I don't know if Robin even noticed you doing that because she's not very perceptive. She was looking around the room for
Things to
Other
steal. Yes. Yeah.
Well, actually, she was looking for other people.
So,
Or no, it's not people.
I will tell you, Robin, that
Other
you didn't see the book initially, but you saw him fiddling with it.
And did I see him giving me a look?
Yes.
Okay. Well, personally, I mean, out of character, shape change is a magic, right?
There's something. They I suppose they could be considered magical creatures, but it's more of a natural thing for a shape changer to change shapes. That's in their anatomy.
Okay. So the unique mushrooms wouldn't necessarily affect them.
No, I don't believe so.
Hoping that we would find a blue-skinned gnome and be like, "It's the shape changer."
As you guys are talking, a gnome walks in the room from the previous room, and he sees you, and he walks in, and he's like, "Hey, Dabbledob, do you have any of that cream for the hemorrhoid? I'll come back." Sees all you guys, and walks away. Tehetan, what are you doing right now?
I'm just pouting.
Are you in your shell or out of it?
Head is in shell, arms are out.
You feel a tap, tap, tap on your shell as rocks are being thrown from above at you.
Head pokes out a little bit. Can I help?
No, not at all. Tap,
I can see why we were paid to come here.
We haven't been paid anything yet.
tap.
Do you guys have any sort of hint or clue as to where or what the shape changer would be at this point?
Well, we've got no idea what he could be at this time. Last time we saw him was over on the east side of the gnome garden. We saw him in our storehouse, full of barrels and what have you, where we keep all of our wines and cheeses and bread. Over on, and then Dabbledob, she points over and she's like, "Over on the east side, you can take the rope bridge. Be mindful of the spinning blades of death."
Spinning blades of death?
Yeah, there's a lever on the wall that deactivates them.
So Lassier's going to kind of look to the present company. This one has plan. Let's go to storeroom.
So they point to this hall when they're like showing you out. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
And they're like, "Best of luck to you. Make sure to bring us something back that we can use as evidence, or he'll never let us in."
Where is the room of the king and king?
Also known as the Kings. They point they point generally in this direction.
I said king and queen, but
Yeah, they point in this direction.
So is there anything like in this hallway or like hanging from walls, in the path, anything?
No, there are various like what you would imagine to be like gnome graffiti. So we'll hold up real quick, Robin.
Yep.
So yeah, there's various like little markings on the wall, like your mom was a shrub, things like that. But as you walk into the room, the air is lightly obscured by mist from the waterfall. But on the eastern side of the room are two rapidly spinning blades that look like turnstiles fitted with stacks of long, sharp blades spaced 1 foot apart each. The northern turnstile spins counterclockwise while the southern spins clockwise. On the southern part of the wall you're at right now, there is a very obvious lever.
Okay. So Lassier's gonna, he's gonna use his little produce flame. So he's gonna have a little flame in his hand. So he's just gonna kind of carefully hold the flame out towards the lever, almost threateningly, kind of figuring that if the lever was the shape changer, that it wouldn't want to get burned, so it might reveal itself.
That's fair. Roll intimidation.
Roll to intimidate the lever.
Intimidate the left.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I'll give you advantage. I'll give you advantage on it, and I'll tell you that
That's my-
nothing happens. But the lever, if it were a shape changer, it would have been a little nervous. But it is just a normal lever. So.
All right, so okay, so
Robin
at
pulls
that
the
point,
lever.
All right. So as
oh,
you,
the lever, Robin!
wrong lever. You fall to the floor. So you pull the lever, and the spinning blades of death stop. They are as they are featured here on the map. That's what they look like right now.
Okay, so yeah, so Lassaier's gonna kind of very, not trusting anything completely, is gonna kind of very
So stop.
carefully.
So as you're coming through, you're gonna stop right here with Lizzie on there,
Mhm.
and from the other room behind you, you're gonna hear a gnome saying, "Would you look at that? Someone's turned off the spinning blades of death. We could be attacked at any moment. Let me just turn these back on."
So hearing that, Lassaier's gonna try to dash to the hallway.
Okay, what are you
Is there
doing?
a lever on this side
No.
that I see?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
And so Lassaier's dashing. Lizzie, what are you doing?
I will also dash.
Okay, you guys make it to the other side as a gnome appears around the corner, sees you guys, and is like, "Oh, well, go on then," and he shoos you out. And as you guys exit, he turns the
Is there
lever
another-
back on, and the blades start turning, and he just claps his hands together and walks away.
Is there
Do I still have my wings?
Yes.
Sweet.
is there another lever on this side?
No, there is not. Also, Robin, as you come out, you see Titan down there, 20 feet below in the water.
Yeah. I wave.
Boy. Just kind of just floating on the back of the shell, just paddling with my foot.
Is the water nice?
I don't like you.
Wow. Ouch.
This one thinks that we will never have to buy boat. We have to.
And with that, I just kind of you hear like a little an escape of air as I just submerge.
Even better, a submarine.
As the water race cut under the skin, and I feel the burning of all the cuts. It's like, ooh, and I just quickly.
Wait, it's salt water?
Well, no, just the water hitting the cuts. I quickly pop a cure wounds on myself.
All right, pop cure wounds on yourself.
I'm definitely back to full health. Holy shit!
So now that Robin is actually most of the way down the bridge, Lassaire is gonna before he takes his first step, he's gonna take a real good look at the bridge just to make sure, you know. And it's mainly just to look at it and just kind of calculate his steps, but also kind of looking for any pieces that may be out of place so he doesn't, trip and fall and get wet.
Yeah, it's a standard rope bridge. As long as nothing is giving you a hard time while crossing, you'll be able to cross without issue.
Good, because
Because Robin just went. Yeah. So before you guys proceed into the next room, Tehetan, are you doing anything?
Just making a perception check under the water while I'm down here.
Okay, go ahead and make it.
You see the Loch Ness monster.
So as you're down there, you notice that there are a
monster.
few more mushrooms of each variety growing on the ground underneath the water as well.
Robin decides to share some information with the turtle over there and yells,
I'm
"Hey,
under the
turtle!"
water.
Oh, damn.
I do pop back to the surface though. There's nothing interesting found.
Hey, turtle! There's a shape
Turtle.
changer about. Yeah, whatever. There's a shape changer. So, and it apparently tried to kill one of the gnomes, so, be careful.
I'll get right on that. Also, casting Cure Wounds, did anything happen to me?
Oh, yeah.
That's actually what I was about to get to. Go ahead and stop for me, Robin.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll a d20.
Did he sprout wings?
I don't like that.
So
I
everyone
like that tone.
everyone sees Tehetan just vanish.
Well, this is my
Did he
lead.
find my tool?
Hetton, you have reappeared.
Wait, where did he reappear?
You don't know.
I just imagine I just popped as I popped in the air, I just kind of crashed down.
Yeah, yeah. You just kind of like because you were above the water, so you just and
Just kind of stand up, dust off.
yeah. You appear to be in a like a wine cellar.
Huh.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but I'm pretty sure he found my dimension traveling tool.
This one thinks the party is for the better.
Oof.
Ooh.
If I had feelings, it'd be hurt.
All right, to Hetton, stop. As you walk out, do you speak Gnomish?
It's funny you say that.
Do you?
You ask. Yes, I do.
In Gnomish, you hear "Who goes there?" coming from the south.
Oi, man. Wave.
Oi, and no.
Yes.
Oh, and they speak to you in Gnomish, and they're like, "Oh, are you? No, surely you're not just a really big gnome."
I'm just a really big gnome.
And
No.
so as this is happening, real quick, rest of the party, were you guys intending to move east?
See.
Yes,
may
I was
continue.
wondering if we heard
You
that
do, yeah.
yelling.
You do hear that. It's coming from your east. So if you intended
Well,
to
then
move,
Give me back my tool!
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go a little faster down the hallway, thinking that maybe it's the shape changer that they found.
so as,
It's a really big gnome.
as you guys walk in, they once again shout out in Gnomish, so you don't understand it. When you don't understand, the other one looks at you and repeats it, saying, "Who goes there?" And the other one's like they're coming out of the woodworks right now. My God.
This one's name is Lasair.
So they brandish their
Oh, you
weapons.
speak gnomish too?
They brandish their weapons and they say,
Okay.
"Our orders are to attack shape changers on sight. Are you shape changers?"
This one is not the shape changer.
We just received an interrogation from the other gnomes over there, and so we are confirmed not shape changers.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh. Da, 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 da.
They say, "What was the name of the person you spoke to?"
God damn it!
Can I
I'm
pop up with the name?
If you know it, say it.
I don't know it, but Lizzie knows it because of her keen mind.
Okay, so you pop out and you say, "Dabbledob and Fibblestib," and they lower their weapons and they're like, "Well, that checks out." They're like, "Well, given that you're not shape changers and that you know Dabbledob and Fibblestib, you must be here on official business, and we're informed to allow anybody past on official business. Officially, we are telling you that there is a shape changer somewhere afoot, and be very mindful. You may also want to get yourself a weapon." They point to the turtle. "It's very dangerous around here." To Hetton, you notice that you do not have your weapon.
Son of a bitch. Oh,
You figure it must have happened when you teleported.
obviously, yeah.
Did you find my tool? Did you find my tool? That
You a tool?
yes. It's an item that I use to travel between dimensions. Do you have it?
Can I squeeze
No.
back?
You actually can't.
I am the hall.
He is the entire hall. Normally, I would say yes, but in this case, actually no.
So are we in the room with all the barrels and stuff right now?
No. However, Hetton might be able to tell you more about that. Right now, you're in a room that is like a passageway, let me pull my little notes up here. It's basically a guard post, so there's little ramparts up there where they are, and it's more like an entryway that is like meant to, as people come in from the north, they would pass through here before going into the rest of
Is it
Nilfgaard.
like those
For those
So-
who make up that damn math.
invader from another
So
galaxy or
Lasair's
whatever
gonna kind of
you're talking about?
Hey Meredith, mute your mic for me.
look around
Sorry.
before turning to the turtle, and this one is wondering. You haven't happened to see any like barrels and things laying around, have you?
Yeah, that would be the winery, the cellar. If you head just past the turtle blocking the hall there, take a right, you'll be right there.
Porthole.
this one is much obliged.
I just kind of like looking to either side of me and just start backing down the hall.
So can Lassair kind of squeeze between Robin and Lizzie?
Yeah, getting through there, it was just a hallway that was the issue.
Squares.
While you hear a little beep, 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 beep.
Okay.
Barrels.
So,
Alright, so
I just kind of do a waving motion.
yeah,
Alright,
so
so-
you guys arrive. There's 12 40-gallon barrels set into wall alcoves. Each barrel is secured by a wooden brace. And the barrels on the south side have been tapped with wooden spigots.
okay. Lassair is going to go intimidate all the barrels with his flame.
Okay, as you're doing that, Robin, what are you doing?
She said BRB.
Oh, okay, cool. Then, okay, too. She's just idly chit-chatting with the gnomes then. So you're going around and you're intimidating each of the flames? Or each of the barrels?
Yes.
Alright, well, we don't have to do it individually. I'll let you know as you go down through the line through each barrel. None of the barrels respond.
Can I tell what the barrels have in them?
You can investigate them, sure.
This one thinks we have to find the one with blood in it.
Find the little gnome pieces. So, yeah, you go through and you try the stoppers on the ones that are corked, and a little bit of wine comes out, splashes on the floor. The ones that aren't corked, you kind of investigate, do a little knock test and all that, and you can tell that some of them are half full, some of them are full, but they all appear to have liquid substance in them as you investigate and mess around with them.
Is there anything else in the room?
Nope, other than just your odds and ends, like little bits of trash, little bits of tools and materials that might be used for stopping up the barrels, and little, like, maybe a broom here and there.
Alright, so Lassair's going to intimidate the larger items like brooms and stuff, like, you know, any like small like scraps and riffraff, like really small things.
Okay.
He's not gonna think could be the shape changer, so he's just gonna go for bigger things.
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, you check out everything that exists in the room, and nothing of note happens. Welcome back, Roy. They made their way up and to the right, and Hetton's there with you. But they
Spotted me.
checked out a winery, basically.
Cool. Was there shapeshifters in the winery?
There was not.
Not that this one can tell.
Just kind of looking over the cliff to see if I can see my hammer down in the water.
You can see
Where I
you can see
disappeared.
perfectly through the water. It is very clear, and you cannot see your hammer.
Balls.
His hammer was a shape changer all along.
Back around.
Either that he's gonna have to buy his hammer back from the gnomes. Alright, so Lassair's gonna kind of just.
I checked myself real quick. Is it just my hammer missing?
Yeah, it's just your hammer.
So Lassair's gonna make his way down this hallway, you know, being very investigative in everything.
Okay.
I look to the gnome. Just almost done this way.
Go ahead and pause there. So as you ask the gnomes, they indicate that there is a pathway that leads around and up to where they are. So that's like the entry to their guardhouse.
As I start to walk away, I turn back. Is there the cliffs out there? How do you get up the cliffs normally?
We just woke, and they point up towards the skinnier side where the small little path comes up.
Is that one it?
That's the one.
Okay.
Getting down is super easy, especially for someone like you.
I noticed.
You guys may begin moving freely, and we're going to 10 p.m. Unless somebody has a big issue with that. So, go ahead and stop, Lassair. As you come around the corner, you notice a little gnome sitting in a 5-foot-tall chair that's attached to a repeating crossbow. It swivels to you, and she shouts, "Shape changers!" and fires the heavy crossbow at you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, you're good at these.
Okay. So the weapon fires this bolt that's about the size of your arm, and you lurch to the left and dodge as it buries itself in the wall next to you. But it was loud enough for everybody to hear it down the hall. What do you do?
So first I'm gonna stay around this corner, and Lassier's just gonna kind of take a few deep breaths, and then kind of remembering the previous encounter with guards. He's gonna kind of look around. What is the talkative one?
Wait, is the talkative one? Talking about Lizzie.
Yes.
Can you hear us, Meredith?
She
She said
BRB'd.
burp.
Oh, well, there's where the talkative one is.
That's what the talkative one is.
Let's say she's also talking to the gnomes down there. Alright.
Actually, Titan, come here. Switch places with me, please.
I mean, kind of maneuver in a way that allows this to happen. Look at the bolt. Look at him.
I need you to walk backwards into that room.
I just kind of, I just kind of like poke my head around the corner. Hello.
Shape changer! Fires a bolt. Make a dexterity saving throw with advantage. Alright,
Ooh,
you,
good.
you pull your head back in, and the bolt slams into the wall, burying itself there as it does.
Just kind of look back. Fine. I do one better. I just kind of suck up it. Or no, you can't possibly push me. Just kind of like pull my arms in. My head's tucked in low, and I'm just kind of walking backwards. Proceed.
So, did when Lassier was getting shot at, was he able to see if the crossbows could change the quadrant of elevation, or are they pretty much just a straight shot?
They're like a Humvee turret. All right. So as you appear in the hallway, another bolt is fired. Let's see. It's going to it bounces. It hits your shell and bounces off, and then you see the crossbow swivel off to the right, and a new crossbow appears, and the other one on the right begins to reload itself, and this one fires. As you make the next step you make, it'll fire again.
Hello, please stop shooting. We had these ones are here on the mission to find the shape changer.
Okay, this one fires again, embeds itself into the shell just barely, and then kind of daintily falls off. Make a persuasion check. She squints at you and she's like, "How do I know I can trust you?" As she swings it over to the right and pulls the next repeating crossbow into position. All the while these are reloading as they go. She says, "How do I know?" That's exactly what a shape changer would say.
I'm just kind of like peeking over the ship. Just kind of like peeking over the corner shop. Fascinating.
Fascinating.
I mean,
Why would a shape
these ones
changer
could do.
become one of us and not a gnome.
How do we know that you are not a shape changer?
Because I'm
Oh my
not.
God.
I'm obviously. I know I'm not.
But how do we know?
You should.
We are not shape changers.
How do I know that?
Because we're not. You know, we're not. So you just know.
Roll persuasion.
This is
with-
how this
roll
works, yes?
persuasion with advantage.
Hit. Oh, there it goes.
Okay. She says she starts scratching her chin. She says, "That's very sound logic." She raises the crossbow, and then she says, "Okay, well, come on in then." I was shape changer says what?
Boy.
Okay. And she lowers the crossbow bolt, and she steps out of the
Fully extend
contraption.
myself up. Extend myself upward. Make my way in.
These gnomes are childish as fuck.
Beautiful.
So this one has question.
And she puts her hands on her hips and she's like, "Is it about my deluxe model auto reloading bolt firing cannon Mark IV?"
Possibly, yes. How do you know it is not the shape changer?
She looks over at it and she says, "I would let it eat me if it were."
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm just kind of like poking at it.
Roll sleight of hand.
Huh?
Roll sleight of hand.
There we go.
Oh God. Okay, I'm out of freaking angle. So good.
Okay. You don't accidentally trigger the mechanism.
Okay. It's kind of I might have a question about that.
Go on.
How does it work?
I'm glad you asked. And she hops back on top of it and she says, "It's a self-reloading auto mechanism that as I fire one bolt and push to the side, I'm presented with a new crossbow bolt or a new crossbow ready and able to fire. And then this mechanism is just pointing to very overcomplicated mechanisms that auto-load the equipment from a reserve of bolts that are stowed beneath the turret. So a bolt is brought up and loaded into the crossbow as it is pushed to the side. The cranking mechanism, the act of it moving to the right in a clockwise fashion, drives the bolt up and into position."
All the while, he's just kind of like reaching in. I pulled out a piece of parchment and a quill, and I just kind of started trying to like lightly sketch it. I've like at one point I shoved my head in there, angle around, trying to look at the inside.
All right, Lassair, hold up for me. So, Lassair, you welcome back. Let me catch Meredith up real quick. So, Meredith,
Yeah.
what you missed? They went to the room to the north, past the wine and everything, and encountered a little gnome that was in an auto-loading crossbow turret, basically. And using Tahetan as a shield, they backed him towards it as it fired into him. And Lassair managed to convince the gnome operating that they were not a shape changer by telling them that they were not shape changers. It worked quite well, I'll have you know. And now Tahetan is questioning the person on how the equipment works. So.
This one simply used their logic against them.
Very nice, very nice.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give, before Lassair moves any further forward, I'm going to give Lizzie and Robin the chance to kind of take some actions and do what they might do in this time. While Lassair was moving north, what are you doing?
Hey, Lizzie,
Yeah.
what were those names of those gnomes that interrogated us again? I feel like I need to make a mental note of this to survive.
Or an actual note.
Jordan, what are
Fibblestib, and Dabbledob.
It's nice that we do have a perfect memory character.
It does help, yes. Otherwise I make you roll insight or history, things like that.
Well, then, anyway, the others went this way, if you want to join them.
As they hear, "Ka!"
Well, Robin was there when they started getting fired at, and then she just walked away.
Oh,
She's
okay.
like, she went to go get Lizzie at that point.
It's like, you guys got this covered.
She's like, Robin's gonna peek around the edge
Yeah,
here.
there's a magic forest wizard and a war turtle that we find.
Is it not shooting anymore?
As you peek around, you see them talking and jiving as about the inner workings of the mechanism.
Shape changer!
So while you guys come into the room, feel free to, you guys in the south, feel free to move as you like. Otherwise, you're just talking to the character about their repeating crossbow and the mechanism. It's about what you would imagine. Lassair, as you enter that room, you notice that it is very obviously a dining room. Contains several dining tables and chairs sized for small folk. There's a stout wooden cabinet against the east wall that holds 10 dishware and utensils. Not 10 like a number, like 10 material.
Okay, I'm sure this is
intimidating.
I'm sure this is going to surprise you. I would like to intimidate all the furniture.
Okay. All right. So you start checking the furniture. While he's checking on the furniture, Robin, what are you doing?
I'm wandering this way looking for
Better go in
Lassair.
perfect
I don't know
circles.
which way he went, so.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. And you're free to keep moving however you guys want to go.
So can I see the repeating crossbow?
You certainly can.
Can I look at the mechanisms and stuff?
Roll sleight of hand.
As she stands in front of it.
I didn't. I just wanted to look at it.
All right. Robin, go ahead and stop there.
It's really sensitive, so.
Yeah, I was stopping there anyway. Like, what?
Oh, I'm fine.
So Lizzie, you do not activate the contraption and shoot yourself by accident. And you do take enough careful study time between you and Tehetan to understand it enough that with proper components and materials, you guys, given enough time and effort, could remake this contraption if you needed to.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how well I sketch it down.
Between Lizzie's observations and yours, it'd have to be a team effort. But between Lizard's observations and yours, as of right now, you could both make it together, and then once you made it, you'll be able to make it individually if you ever needed to. But it is by the nature of the mechanism, it is a stationary mechanism.
I'm just gonna look at the crossbow and go, a repeating crossbow. How quaint, how archaic. It's so cute.
Damn.
Archaic. This is cutting edge.
Oh, you see, I'm a dimension traveler. I've been to worlds where I can literally shoot. I can shoot a gun. You don't know what a gun is. It's a crossbow.
Her eyes begin to glaze over.
I know what a gun is.
I feel like telling the gnomes who are scared of shape changers that you're a dimensional traveler isn't exactly the best idea right now.
So,
just personal OOC note.
Lassair, as you begin intimidating the dining room, nothing tries to jump out and eat you.
This is good. So, at this point, Lassair notices that he's kind of alone.
That is true.
And is going to kind of walk back to the initial hallway he came in and just kind of look around. Hello?
As you do that, Robin, in those alcoves off to your right, in an otherwise empty room, you see two contraptions. Seem to be gnomish in nature because of their wacky design, but each resembles a crab with a barrel for a shell, 6 articulated metal legs, and a pair of forward-facing pincer claws. A hatch on the top of each barrel opens to reveal an interior compartment equipped with a small, leather-padded seat surrounded by leathers, pedals, and gears. The barrels are not airtight.
Yeah, I'm just peeking around the corner at them at this point.
They do not appear to be manned at this time.
Okay,
And by the way, for the record, that's how that perception check I had you roll, that's how that works. So, showing you guys.
Yeah. Then I guess I'll kind of walk in the doorway a little bit more and look at them.
Everybody's free to move, by the way.
Okay, with that and the sketch down.
Gosh, Lizzie and the turtle would love these things.
It's kind of. I just kind of look at it. By the might of God, it's wondrous to see such craftsmanship.
Hello.
Look at these things. They're like... I don't know, I was gonna say they're like tanks, but tanks don't exist. So
It's kind of like nod to the gnome. Thank you for humoring my ignorance.
Thank you for letting me test my weapon on your back.
Lassair's going to intimidate the tanks.
Okay. You begin.
I figured. I was waiting for him to show up and do that.
You begin intimidating the gnome tanks. None of them try to attack you.
Are they well known?
They are very well known.
Stop that.
Even Corey laughed.
That's not a.
All right. So
Speaking of,
up
side
north,
note,
go ahead
Jordan.
and pause up north. And those of you in the bottom. And what's your side note, real quick, Riley?
Like, since while I'm in Raleigh, we need to hang out.
For sure. So those of you in the bottom there, What are you guys doing?
I was just starting to make my way up there.
Okay, making your way.
Making my
uptown.
way downtown.
Okay, so as you guys are heading up, you can hear off to your northeast. You can hear the sounds of Lassair interrogating various contraptions.
Are you a shape changer? No response.
And as you come around the corner, you see them. You see Lassair and Robin coming out of the doorway and heading north. Alright, you guys are all now free to maneuver.
Is Lizzie with him?
Liz, well, you don't know that, but I'll go ahead and tell you. Lizzie comes around the corner shortly thereafter.
I just imagine the whole time walking through here, it's just occasionally the shell does nick the side of the fucking wall.
Yes, Lizzie. Step in this room. This one thinks there is something here that will interest you.
Oh, really? What?
Just kind of back up.
Can
to
I-
let him through. Just like arms are held up, just kind of like trying to
like-
turn.
Crabs made out of barrels.
I'm trying to. Oh, excuse me.
As I'm backing up, I look behind me to Robin.
This
Goes
one
to the
wonders if
doorway.
they can do a better roll.
I'm good out here. You should go in there and take a look at those.
Fuck you, Riley.
Wait, what?
I'm saying you should. Are you not going in
No,
there?
I'm trying to figure out what Riley said.
This one wonders if they can do a better roll.
It's an aileron roll, first of all.
But they're barrels, so my joke stands. Can this one get out, please? I mean, you could come in.
Back up.
Are these crab things the quote-unquote gnome tanks?
Those are the gnome
Yep.
tanks, correct.
Okay. Then Lizzie would go, oh, they're cute little...
She keeps cutting out every time she
Keeps
says
cutting
that.
out.
She's letting go of her button, yeah.
They're cute little
It's fantastic.
Yeah, but it actually fits the character, so it's perfect.
censoring.
Oh, God.
Now we can follow.
So, as you guys round that corner, you see at the north end of the hall, there is a turn and a door.
Lassair will interrogate the door.
The door does not respond.
So we're
Alright.
looking for what exactly?
A
This
shape-
door,
They keep
this
holding
door looks
fire
suspicious.
things.
We're looking for a shapeshifter.
If I were a
Oh.
if this one were a shapeshifter, he would be afraid of flames.
By the way, have I seen any rugs?
You have not.
Okay.
So, so Lassair, knowing the, or having seen the mechanical ability of the, of the gnomes, he's gonna kind of take a step back and pull out pull the wooden staff off of his pack and kind of just prod the door in an attempt to open the door without actually touching it.
Okay, the door is now slightly ajar.
He will continue poking it.
The door is now fully open.
Okay, so he's going to kind of rush to the door jamb and just like wave the staff through the doorway.
So nothing happens. As you do, it looks like a Keebler elf workshop. Basically, as you walk in, there's a little female elf using a poker on the fire. There's another one operating a complicated press-like contraption to squeeze oil out of a big red mushroom. There's another one that's at a low table and is using a mechanical rolling pin contraption to knead the green bread dough. Another one is forming dough into loaves with green bread, and his tongue sticking out as he carefully shapes each loaf like a master sculptor. And then another one turns and looks at you like you're an idiot.
All right, so Lassair's going to step through the door.
As you walk in, they're like, and they all back up into the wall, and they're like, "Are you is it?" And then one goes,
For the record, this one is not a shape changer. We have been through several interrogations at this point.
They all one grabs a spoon, One grabs a green mushroom and points it at you.
So yeah, Lassair is gonna hold out the flame in his hand. If I were a shape changer, would this one like fire?
And they all look at each other. Roll persuasion.
The best fucking persuasions.
The one with the green mushroom lowers it slowly and says, "It's true. Shape changers hate light."
Hearing this, I just kind of leaned towards Robin. Are we sure there is a shape changer?
Well, supposedly a rug attacked the king, and they've never seen a rug otherwise.
Speaking of which, I've not found a rug in the monster manual, by the way. So I think you're making this up.
Yeah. What's the AC of a rug?
While stationary, 1.
This is magic rug.
Oh, well, that's different.
So you
Right.
guys eat the green mushrooms?
And one of them, female, gets kind of excited, and she's like, "Not only do we eat them, we turn them into bread. We bake them into things, and we eat sandwiches and stuff with them."
So can you eat them raw?
And they look at each other, and they're like, "I mean, I guess you could, but it wouldn't taste very good."
But it tastes good cooked.
And they all look and they all nod. They walk over to you with a loaf of green bread, and they said, "You want to try some?"
Sure.
Okay.
Oh no.
You take a
Take a
bite out
bite.
of it, and it is like ash in your mouth. It is horrible.
Wow. Wow. Delicious.
Yep, they're all nodding like, "Yeah, right, isn't
Yeah.
it? Isn't it? It's so good."
What about the red mushrooms? What do you do with the red mushrooms?
They were like, "We glad you asked." And they walk over, and they've got this little press for the red mushrooms. It's pressing it into a filter, and the red mushroom juice is going through a filter into a jar labeled wine. And they take
then
that
what
little
about
jar and they walk over to you with it, and they're like, "You want to try some of the wine?"
You know, I am just stuffed after that green.
Can I try some of the wine?
She would love to try some of the wine. What if-
She wants the tea.
Yeah. So
Nudge over.
yeah, they walk over to you and they're like, "Try it. It's delicious." And they hand you a little flask of red mushroom wine.
I chug it.
You chug it, and you immediately throw it back up.
No.
Not like blood or violently. It's just it goes down and it comes right back up. And it is the foulest tasting drink you have ever had in all your adventures.
I quickly changed the subject. What about the purple mushrooms?
They all
What do you
look at
do
each
with
other
those?
and they're like, "The purple mushrooms. Those we steer clear of. They are full of wild magic."
Ah, right.
Reminds me, do I still have my wings?
Yes.
At the mention of the wild magic, I look around. I don't see my hammer, I assume.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
He's using it for a rolling pin.
Okay, there we go.
Number one, if they can wield it, I would be impressed.
I'll let you know if a 9 ever lets you discover your axe or your hammer.
Okay.
So this one has question for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kind of directing at the
The head chef walks up. "What can I do for you?"
What do you know of the rug attack on the king?
And they all gasp. One puts their hand on their head, and they all shudder. Oh, poor King. What's his fucking name? Like, poor King Nerkly and Korbaz. Oh God, he was just minding his own business one day, after Fluffle stuff had been eaten, and then a rug wrapped itself around him, and he barely clawed his way out. And in a panic, he took King Korbaz and hid him away.
Was this attack
so
in
Dirk was
perhaps a dark area of this fine city of yours?
It happened in the wine cellar.
And the other one that got attacked. What do you know about it?
I just, well, it would have been, it would have been, Jabby that saw him. He walked down the hall to go towards the winery one day, and he never came back. Well, no, that's not true. He did come back with wine, and then he walked away and never came back.
So, King Nerkly was attacked,
Mm-hmm.
and King Corbus and Nerkly are now locked in the room.
Mhm.
And Fluffle stuff was eaten
Mm-hmm.
by the shapeshifter,
Correct.
by a rug.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a rug. It just the rug. They
And
know it was a
Gabby
rug. They know it was
saw-
a rug that attacked King Korbaz.
They don't know
I
what
thought
attacked.
Nerkly was attacked.
No, no, Korbaz. Yeah, I'm sorry, I told you wrong. So, Korbaz was attacked, driven mad, and took Nerkly and hid him away.
Okay, attacked. And then Fluffle stuff was eaten, and Jabby saw the whole thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where is this Jabby?
You remember hearing people talking about Jabby when you were back in that first hall, that first room with all the gnomes?
But then he disappeared.
No, Jabby didn't disappear. It's the other one that disappeared.
They said Jabby brought back wine and then disappeared.
No, Fluffle stuff disappeared.
Okay.
Yeah, Fluffle stuff disappeared. Jabby was the
So
last
Jabby's
one to
in
see
that
him.
first. Jabby was back there, probably throwing rocks at the turtle.
Yes.
That's exactly what that was.
Oh my god. I don't
So
like this jobby.
So this one is investigating this room.
Okay, we'll wait and see what the rest of the party does, and then we'll tell you what comes of that. So, talking to the gnomes up there while Lasser is checking that room. What do you guys do?
At the mention of the jabby who was throwing rocks, I lost interest.
I'm looking at what they're cooking with.
It is pretty standard cooking tools. They're just very small.
And are they only cooking with the mushrooms and that's it?
Yeah.
Like,
Occasionally
noodle?
you'll see a fish, but only very few, and they're like small fish.
Okay.
Oh.
Lizzie becomes uninterested.
Okay. Lasser, make a perception check. Okay, very
God
nice.
damn.
So, this room's obviously a pantry piled high with small wooden crates. Each contains loaves of green mushroom bread and other foodstuffs collected and kept by the gnomes. There's crates, there's boxes, there's a chest, and a few other things in the room.
Open the chest.
Lasser is going to intimidate.
Okay. As Lasser begins to intimidate the chest, Tehetan, you also see in the top right of the corner of the room, propped up against one of the boxes, is your hammer.
It's just so top, up, high up in the corner. Well,
Mhm.
high up by gnome standards.
Correct.
Aw, nice. Kind of just move on by.
Okay. And then
I assume I don't have to really reach for
right,
it.
yeah, you can reach up, you can get ready to grab it. So Lasser, as you lean down to check the treasure chest, go ahead, or the chest rather, make an investigation check. All right. So let's see here.
Explosion!
So, Lasser, as you check out the chest and begin to look it over and prod it to see, are you a shape changer? Messing around with it, Tehetan's hammer turns into a bunch of teeth and jumps at him and attempts to eat him.
I knew it.
Son of a bitch. I knew it!
Tehetan, either make a strength saving throw or a dexterity saving throw, whichever one you want to do, and you got to describe to me what you're doing.
In response to it trying to bite me.
Yeah, it's a surprise attack trying to pull you in.
I see. In terms of, let's see, to use strength. So it's trying to pull me to it.
Yeah, it's trying to pull you inside of its mouth.
Okay, so I just basically just gonna quickly just see if I can brace myself against it.
Okay, make a strength saving throw.
Boop.
Okay. You succeed and you brace its mouth open.
I'm a no.
Everybody roll for initiative.
Oh, nothing I do,
Dun,
Riley.
dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun.
Surprised I didn't even get a giggle out of Riley with that line.
I didn't even
You
hear
know, I was
that one.
about to say our
Number
party only has
no.
like the lowest initiatives, and then freaking Roy over here.
No, I have to actually roll my initiative manually here. Oh, there it goes. Thank you.
You guys gotta make sure you click on your character.
Oh no, that was Jordan.
It's a mimic.
Yeah, make sure you click on your token.
Yeah, I think initiative is the only thing that doesn't work whenever I am using the thing on my tablet.
Alrighty, let me set this to round 1 and order you guys descending. So, well, you're not Summer anymore, you're Robin now, right? Change your name up on me. So, yeah, I noticed that earlier and I was like, wait a damn minute.
Wait a damn minute.
So, Robin, you see Tehetten's hammer leap off the wall and attempt to eat him, which he takes it in both arms and is holding the mouth open. What do you do?
Oh my god. Robin's gonna dash in and try and stab it in its open maw.
Okay. Run up there and try to stab it in its open maw. All right. And yeah, you run up and you bury your rapier into its mouth and it howls out and squeals as you stab through it. What do you do?
Did I have advantage on that?
You did not.
Okay. I'm still not entirely sure how advantage works.
There's just different scenarios. If I had it grappled, air quotes, you probably would.
Yeah, right now he's
But
just
I-
keeping
I'm
it from
just-
eating him.
Because now I have sneak attack, so I'm like, how do I know when that's...
Okay, so your sneak attack applies whenever an enemy doesn't know that you're there. Usually when the attention is, like, if you're on its left, right, or rear, when its attention on
Right.
something else,
Okay.
you in this case would be in front of it, which I'll go ahead and do
Right.
that to you now.
That's what I thought, but I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
Mhm.
Then that is the extent of my turn.
All right, Lacer, what do you do?
So, can I assume that with a spell time of 10 minutes that I still have my little flame in my hand?
Sure.
I'm going to throw it at the mimic.
Okay.
With me in front of you.
Huh?
With me directly in front of you.
Oh,
Well, yeah, he's holding it over his head, so he's good.
okay. So to make sure I got this set right. Info block, description, attack roll, blah blah blah.
Yeah, you fling your fire at it, and it hits it and bounces off and into nothing. You still have some movement. What would you like to do?
That's a good question, sir. That was kind of what I had my whole thing to do. Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay. So on the mimic's turn, it's going to with like a slimy, slithery like tongue comes out and pushes itself off of Tehetten, and it attempts to land on top of Robin and take hold with a it's less of a bite and more of like a clamp, which will still do damage. So let's see. What do we got? Does a 13 hit?
My AC? No.
Okay. Then yeah, he comes down, tries to clamp onto you, and you duck underneath it as he sails by through the air, and then he runs over and tries to bite Lasair.
Did it move out of my range for opportunity or no?
Nope, I'm not out of your range. He's stayed inside your range the entire time. And I
Okay.
doubt
No,
an
that
8
does not hit.
All right, so once again he tries to bite, and he's just mawing out at you, but can't quite get to you. Lizzie, it's your turn.
Okay. Oh, so that's what's happening in here.
Yeah, you can hear the sounds of the fighting going on. That's exactly it. Yes.
This.
It's just bouncing around the fucking room.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cast firebolt.
Alright. So you bolt of fire charges in your hands, and you streak it out towards the mimic, and it pierces it, blows a hole through its skin, and stops on the back wall. The mimic screeches out and turns to you.
We'll go, whew, that time as a fire Artemis really did come in handy.
Time as a fire Artemis, shut up. Alright. Tehetin, what do you do?
Uh,
Arm strike.
I mean, really, he's gonna have to punch it.
I'm specifically going to attempt to attack for a grapple.
Okay, yep, go for a grapple.
How do you roll that attack? What is it? Just a 20 plus strength, or?
I think it's a check. Let's see.
Attack action to make a special melee attack. A grapple. So it's an attack if it lands. I can grapple. I think is what I'm reading.
Yeah, make it 1d20 plus your strength.
Just an unarmed strike. Whatever. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Oop, that's the wrong button. Yeah.
Okay, so you grapple against the creature's strength, and the creature is able to overpower you as you attempt to grab it. We'll say you have it.
That was just the attack. So then I do that. Does that even hit?
It does. It does.
Okay.
So now roll your strength against it. Then yeah. Yep.
Hey. I assume just athletics or just.
Do a no, not an athletics. It's not a skill thing. Do a unskilled strength check.
Ah, here it is.
There's probably an official rule for it. I always get them wrong. So you make contact with your fist, grab a hold of it, and in both hands you raise the creature up over your head. You have
Hammer,
it.
no.
You now have it grappled. Hammer, no.
Does that mean all attacks against us are now advantage?
All attacks against it will have advantage. He's basically holding it in place while you guys thwack it.
That's my turn.
All right. So now we're coming up on round 2. It is now Robin's turn. What are you doing?
So, just to confirm, if I am still in the creature's range and I am moving within the creature's range, I know it's grappled, but for future reference, does it get an attack of opportunity?
It does not.
Is
However, you can also,
okay.
if you do have to move out of its range, you can use disengage as your action, or a bonus action if you're a rogue that has that when you get it, and then they can't attack you.
5 feet, you're good.
Yeah, as long as you stay within
just
5 feet.
Assuming if it wasn't grappled, my next thing to do was like move into its flank and attack it from there, which I'm still gonna do, but it's definitely not gonna attack me because it's grappled.
Yep,
So.
and go ahead and roll your extra d6, your extra d6 or 2d6, however many you get of damage, because you are sneak attacking it.
I need to figure out a good way to do that in the future.
Yeah, I just make a sneak attack macro. So you hit for 8, 19, 11, so yeah, you sneak around behind the sucker, and while Hetton's holding it overhead, you just stab your rapier up through it. As you stab it, the form of the hammer that it was taken begins to distort and starts to fail. It starts to revert into this more of like shapeless mass, effectively ditto. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Do you have any more actions? Level 1
that's
rogue?
all I'm gonna.
I think so. All right, Lassair, what do you do?
So free action to draw short sword and then attack the bleb.
Okay, you have advantage. All right, you hit for 10 damage. Just as before, as you strike it, the shape begins to falter, and Tehetin is still holding on and holding the shape, but it's starting to get squishy in his hands now. All right.
And that's it.
All right, so the mimic is going to attempt to, while grappled, it's going to attempt to bite the grappler. So,
Does it do that with disadvantage or no?
yes. I'm not sure the exact rule on it, but I think that makes sense, so I'm going to rule it as. I'm going to assume he did not make contact with the
Cute.
turtle.
Speed is 0. Okay, yeah.
So you're gonna notice that while it's deforming like that, you feel a very sticky nature around your hands, Tehetin. He is pseudopoding. He's sticking to you slowly. Lizzie, roll a d20.
Oh.
Sorry,
Okay.
ignore that. I was trying to make a macro.
Oh yeah, you used magic.
Alright. Let's see here. So, tiny, insubstantial motes of light circle the caster, shedding a bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. So there's little lights dancing around you.
Huh.
Fascinating.
What do you do?
I
More magic.
walk up and I poke it.
And you have advantage, so you succeed, dealing 2 damage. As you do, your dagger is pulled into the flesh of the creature and you lose your grip on it.
Aw.
Dagger, no.
Dagger, no! Alright, any more you want to do, Lizzie?
No, that's it.
Alright, Tehetan.
Noticing
Your hands are both stuck to the creature, and you can feel that while you are holding it, you have strong purchase in the creature, but you also feel like you couldn't let go either.
Yeah, noticing that if you insist, I'm just slamming on the fucking ground.
Okay, then make a melee attack or a fist attack against it, and we'll do some extra slamming damage.
Oops, that's a D6, not roll a D6.
Okay, you hit. Roll 1d6. Plus, what's your strength mod?
3.
Okay, so you're gonna do 5 damage to it, and it begins spattering on the ground as you do. You just start smashing on the ground, and bits of basically like gelatinous mass just starts flying everywhere as you do. That brings us to round 3. Robin, what do you do?
Oh man, I wish I'd thought of that.
She's
Damn it.
hesitating a moment because she saw Lizzie's dagger get absorbed in there.
You can still see it. The dagger is floating around inside of it.
I should have spun it around the other way and just slammed it against the opposing wall, carrying it out of their combat range.
Dick.
3 opportunity attacks.
Oh yeah.
I wish I'd thought of that.
Gonna try stabbing it again.
Okay. With advantage, you swing out and you slash into it for 10 damage, and your rapier gets stuck in it.
Oh.
At
No
this,
sneak attack damage or no?
in this case, yes, you will do your sneak attack damage. And as you strike it, your rapier cuts into it, slashes partially through the creature, gets stuck, and at this point, the creature is basically like melted jelly. It's just not even a whole mass anymore. There's nothing really.
I am refusing to let go of my rapier.
Okay.
I'm
Okay. The gelatinous mass is starting to flow down the rapier towards your hand.
Okay, never mind. I let go of the
forgot
rapier.
that.
I let go of the rapier. All right, Lacer, it's your turn.
All right, so going to. Yeah, gonna cast. Gonna shoot some poison at it.
Okay. Poison spray. You extend your hands toward a creature you can see within range and project a noxious gas from your palm. The creature must make a Constitution saving throw. All right, and your damage is 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what that con saving throw is. Oh, it's gonna take all 2 damage. Roll a d20 for me.
Cheery ass music.
Yeah. So the poison, the creature begins changing colors as the poison flows through its body as well.
Ooh, what's an 8 to you?
All right. You out of existence.
Oh.
And then into existence. It is now the mimic's turn. The mimic begins to like basically it's like jelly between your fingers now. It's pooling down on the floor. It's with disadvantage. It attempts to it's biting, but it's not biting. It's trying to clamp down onto Lizzie. So Let's see how that goes. Lizzie, does a 20 hit?
Damn.
I'm gonna assume yes. So we're gonna do. You okay there, Lizzie?
Yeah. I just wanted to see because I have a reaction ability, and I want to see if it would make a difference. No, it wouldn't. Never mind.
So you're gonna take 9 piercing damage and 2 acid damage, so 11 damage total. Where does that put you?
She's
That
unconscious.
I am.
You are unconscious. All right, so she gets latched onto by this creature. This gelatinous mass comes out of the ground, wraps around her neck, and squeezes down on her. You see her choke out. An acid burn goes around a thin ring around her neck, and she collapses onto the ground. Lizzie,
I'm at negative 3 HP.
you have what?
Negative 3.
Okay, make a death saving throw.
Here goes natural 1.
All right. Okay, you fail. God damn it. We can't lose 2 of Meredith's characters. All right, Tehetan, what do you
Is
do?
it still holding on to her?
Hmm?
Or is it just an attack?
It's still holding on to her. Yeah.
Okay. It's at this moment. Oh, fuckeries. I don't have to save that.
Just kill it. It's fine.
Just kill it.
I don't want to do that. That's a terrible idea.
Okay.
Use your foot, whatever it is. Use your foot.
Can I attempt to, in the same vein as the idea I had of just trying to swing it and just slam it on the opposite side of me?
Go for
to
it.
Get it off of, to release it from her.
Yep, make your attack and your 1d6 slamming damage.
1d6
You succeed?
slamming
Yeah,
damage.
roll. Yeah, it's a thing. So, what's your strength mod?
Nope.
Okay.
3.
Okay, so you swing him across the wall. He comes dislodged from Lizzie, slams into the wall, and just splatters against it, completely motionless. And his sticky, we'll say, feature, while still is there, it's like sticky slime, not sticky like, I can't get my hands off of it. It's just splattered and lifeless, and the dagger and rapier kind of ooze out of it and fall to the ground.
So I just have to pull my hands out of it. Immediately turn the fuck around and nope.
All right. So Lizzie is now stabilized but unconscious.
Okay.
Lizzie, you have level 1 exhaustion as well.
I also get to roll a 1d20.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and roll a d20 for your magic.
Fuck! You erupt into flames. What does that do?
Okay. So Tehetan, you out of existence. You disappear, but you reappear on a plane of hell, and take 8 fire damage, and then back on this one on fire. You are actively on fire.
Okay. I was
Is
kidding
there
about the
water
fire,
in
Jordan.
this pantry?
Yeah,
I was kidding about the fire, Jordan.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Looking for water.
Yeah, so there's red wine in the room with you.
Mushroom wine.
Riley, you can move freely.
Robin takes out her water skin and dumps it on him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, same. Just emptying my fucking water skin.
Okay. It's not putting out the hellfire.
Fuck. That's what I figured.
But it does something. It is a noticeable effect, but you are still think about it like this: you're not in a blaze. There are parts of your clothing and bits of your flesh that are still burning from pieces on you. So you're just on fire.
Oh, I'm just on.
You're
Just
not.
fine.
You're not like oh, Dante's Inferno on fire.
Oh,
You're
so I'm not. Okay. I guess a game question. I'm not taking damage. Continuing.
if you can't put it out, you're gonna burn. But you're not
Okay.
Yeah, you're not on fire.
Fuck Fuck! Fuck! Back! Scroll. Shit.
All right, so let's say you're seeing, seeing the turtle on.
He left the room and everything was fine. He comes back and Lizzie's dead and Turtle's on fire.
All right, so yes, noticing this, he's gonna walk back to the to the gnomes. This one is wondering if you have any.
As you walk around
Flower?
the gnomes are like, is something burning back there?
Robin starts like
Yes, it is.
Out of just panic, I'm gonna drop a cure wounds on myself and hope for the best.
Okay, you cast Cure Wounds on yourself. You
Yep.
recover 5 hit points. You are still on fire.
Fuck!
Robin's using the bread to try
does
and
it-
like.
Doesn't he have to do a new effect though?
Yep.
Yep, roll a d20. And Robin, you were trying to put the fire out with the bread. It is not working. However, the bread is continuing to bake as you do.
Yeah, I
gonna say
didn't
make it
want to
the
touch it myself. I was wondering if the fire transfers to the bread.
Yeah, I mean, no, it just burns it. So Tehetan, you out of existence,
Oh.
and you 30 feet in the air, and fall in. You're gonna take two bludgeoning damage upon impact, and the fire is put out. You're right where you started.
Wait, where did I go? Oh wait, there.
Just take it a moment.
Oh god.
Just gonna pause here a moment. I'm just gonna float back to the surface.
Oh god.
Did you find your hammer though?
No.
No. As Robin.
I'm just gonna, as quick as I can. I'm also just gonna try and make my way up this fucking path.
Okay. All right.
Robin's gonna attempt to pick up Lizzie.
Okay. Just make a unskilled strength check.
Sack of potatoes over her shoulder.
Yeah, just make an unskilled strength check for me.
Ooh.
Her, Robin. Yep,
Oh.
you succeed. You fireman's carry Lizzie. So Lizzie,
Alright,
just move with Robin, Lizzie.
So Lassair is still with the bakers. This one is wondering if the mushrooms have any kind of, healing properties, mayhaps?
They heal hunger. The green ones do when made into bread.
Looking more for something along the lines of unconsciousness.
And they see Lizzie getting dragged around or carried around the corner. They're like, "Oh my God! Did you guys get in a fight with a rug?"
Yeah, about that.
More or less, yes.
Oh, could we? We need the body to show proof that we beat it.
I've got these. I've got these.
They're like, "Rug
Scoop it up into, like,
Rug
scoop it up into like a bowl or something.
Actually, so Lassair actually has an herbalist kit, which includes a mortar and pestle. So he's just gonna, he's gonna let Robin and Lizzie in the room, and then he's gonna walk back and then to scoop some of the mimic into his his little bowl.
I'm sure these gnomes in here have bowls that you can use.
Well, I also have a bowl on my hand,
Okay.
in my hands. You know what? How that's not. Fuck it.
He's trying to climb up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So
Right.
yeah, you start. You take a little bowl off the shelf in there, and you start scooping the shape changer's remains into the bowl. It's a little sticky, but it's manageable.
I'm gonna ask.
So
these
so having herbalism experience, can I tell if this ooze has any healing properties?
No, innately no, you cannot tell that.
Okay. And I'm not gonna force feed any to the unconscious. Do not give unconscious
Do
people
not give
ooze.
unconscious people tea.
Robin's gonna ask these gnomes in the kitchen here with her. She says, "So, since we beat the shape changer, we need to go show proof to hold on. Fibblestib and Dabbledob on the other side, on the west side of your encampment here. How do we get back over there past the spinning blades?
All right. So for the sake of narrative, what I'll do here is I'll describe to you. Are we all in agreement that the plan would be here to take the remains of the creature to the scientists and then thusly to the king?
Yes.
Lizzie would agree if she was conscious.
Please put us in the scientist room.
Okay. So here's what happens. After some period of time, Tehetin is able to ascend the staircase. And he does rally with the group only because he's more worried about really Lizzie than anything else. And you guys all are paraded through the halls of Gnomeguard, all the while as they're shouting, "Rug Slayers! Rug Slayers!" And there's just this ever-growing conga line of gnomes following after you guys, chanting Rug Slayers all along the way.
I don't think there's anything overgrown about gnomes.
Yeah, well, that's true. As you guys arrive at the spinning blades of death, one of the gnomes sends a mage hand out to lower the lever. The things stop, and you guys once again are brought through the halls, where you meet with Dabbledob and Fibblestib, and they are elated to see the remnants of the shape changer. And they're so happy to see it. And upon seeing Lizzie, they walk over to her and they're, "Oh my goodness! Oh wow! We're gonna have to take her apart and use her bones as mortar for some stuff." That's
She's
so
not dead.
not dead yet.
I just kind of train my head down. Not at all.
And they put their hands up.
But I'm tapped out.
So Fibblestib, he walks over and what are the odds? What are the odds, Lizzie? What are the odds that he has a potion of healing in here for you? Let's see, 1d100.
I'd say that the odds are like 10%.
The odds are 70%. Roll a 69 or lower on a d100.
50%.
Yeah, I roll a d100 to give you your percentage. You got to roll lower than that. And he does. Fibblestib walks over and he finds a potion of healing, and he's like, "Ah, this should get her right up, right as rain. Skippy as you do." And he goes over and he starts to pour the healing potion down. And let's see, 2d4. I think a potion of healing is 2d4. Let me see. Potion of
2d4 plus 4, isn't it?
2d4 plus 4. That's what I thought.
2d.
Just steal Josh's potion macros.
Yeah, I really should. All right, you recover 8 hit points, Lizzie.
That's all my HP, and I want it noted that I'm gonna just pop right back up, like I was never unconscious in the first place, and go, "I need samples."
So, Lizzie, around your neck, like a necklace line, there is a thin white line that's been burned into your neck, a perfect circle around your neck, end to end. It is a permanent scar.
Oh.
Fascinating.
Fascinating. All right. I'll give you guys a second to say anything you want to say before we continue the narrative.
Robin's gonna walk over and hand Lizzie her dagger back.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, thank you.
So Lassair is going to hold up the bowl of ooze. This one thinks, for services rendered, I need to see the kings, and I need the dragon killer, and that book over there.
So Dabbledob, he looks over and he says, she says, as I was, she says, well, I'll lend you time. Let's go and let's see the king. We'll reward you shortly thereafter. Let's go and see the kings. Tehetin, do you have anything to that?
I just checking her over. Oh, kind of poke at the line. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse. Really could have been. Killed Lizzie on our first fucking session. Alright, so they parade you guys once more. I want you guys to bear in mind there's about 15 gnomes at this point following through with you guys, and it's not bothering the tokens.
Killer!
Yeah, and and they're just Rug Slayer, bringing you guys through the halls, and I will now whip you guys over there real quick. So you guys are whipped down the hall, outside the King's bedchamber, and the Dabbledob and Fibblestead, they look at you, Lassaire, expectantly.
Last year's just gonna raise an eyebrow.
This is the King's chambers where Corballs has locked himself and Nerkly inside.
Persuasion check time. Or could that still be
Alright,
time?
so Lassaire is gonna walk to the door, knock on it sharply.
As you knock on the other side of the door, you hear, "And who goes there?"
Wow.
Hello, this one is named Lassaire. We have slain the rug, and have proof here.
How do I know the proof isn't a shape changer?
Well,
Say it.
the proof was a shape changer.
So the proof that you have is what formerly was the shape changer,
This is correct, but it can no longer shape change
because you killed it.
because we killed it. Yes.
Roll persuasion.
These conversations.
I don't buy it. You couldn't have killed the shape changer. The shape changer almost killed me.
Well, you see, he had assistance. There was 4 of us involved in the battle against the grave shape changer.
Roll persuasion. If you fail, you're fucked.
Fail your fuck.
4. That's 4 times 1. 4 times as many as I.
Hate the gnomes.
The math checks out here. All kinds of locks just being unlatched. Just. And then the door slides open. And there, standing before you, is a 2.5 foot tall gnome with a beard that goes down to his knees, and it's black and gray. And he looks up at you with his hands on his hips, and he says, "All right, then, let me see it."
All right, so Lassier's just gonna kind of hold the bowl out to him.
He takes the bowl in his hands, and he looks at it, and he says, "Doesn't really look like the rug." And he leans down, and he takes a little taste of it. Tastes like it, though. Yep, that's it. And he takes it, and he flings it against the wall. The bowl shatters, and slime goes everywhere. And he says,
That's why we should have used one of their bowls.
and he goes, "Rug Slayer!" And he raises his hand, and Nerkly is over in the corner with a gag going,
So Lassier's just gonna kind of try to squeeze past the one king.
Yeah, he walks in the room, and he's just walking around chanting. He walks over to Nerkly, and he's shaking him in his chair, going, "Rug Slayer!" And Nerkly's just back and forth, "Rug Slayer!"
Alright, so Lassier's gonna go ungag, unbind, and whatever. Fuck, we said Nerkly's?
Nerkly, yeah.
Nerkly. So, yeah, I'm gonna unbind him.
Alright.
This one does not believe these are necessary anymore.
So,
Cor's bracing himself.
yeah. So Corboz turns to you and he says, "I'm eternally grateful." And Nerkly turns and he's like, "Yes, thank you guys so much. This is wonderful."
This one thinks you are not king but queen.
Anybody watching this right now? 2 of my players are gay. We're allowed to do this.
One of the gay ones, then? This one is Here are our credentials.
Here are our credentials.
Actually, Charles, roll persuasion.
Shut the fuck up.
You must persuade the audience.
Not a persuasive sort. Let's just keep going.
So you fail at convincing someone you're gay?
Meredith and Nick didn't believe me for months.
So Corboz, he says, "All right, well, we've got to make this all right and official and correct and factual. So if you could please," and he points over to the wall, "if you guys could please just get in a proper, nice line, we'll do a little ceremony. It'll be great. You're gonna love it."
Can I even fit through this door?
Yes.
How low am I? What is the fucking ceiling level through this place?
Yeah, I was wondering.
The ceilings are 7 feet high and flat.
God, they are.
It's
Why are the ceilings
for
so fucking tall?
gnomes?
This one thinks that the turtle
They
should stand
like
in
their
the back.
vaulted ceilings.
Clearly.
A sign of class.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain with this one issue. Fucking height is. I just gotta.
No.
Titus walks up, sees.
I want to stand behind the turtle.
I'm just gonna kind of.
Get in the back. Get in the back.
Get in
No, I want to stand behind. I want to hide behind the turtle.
So,
I don't
This
like
one will
this
stand up. This
don't
one
like
will stand up front.
cornered like this.
Korbaz and Nerkly stand before you. Korbaz has a pointy hat in his hand, and Nerkly has a wand. And Korbaz says, he says, "Rug Slayers, that is what you will be known as. From far and wide, we will spread the name. The 4 adventurers who came here and killed that goddamned rug." And everybody's cheering, yeah! And they're like, "You will be known as Rug Slayers." And
Well, there goes my career as an eater.
Gnarkly walks up to Lassair, and he hands you a wand. Here, this is for you.
Do I want to know what you are using this for?
Gnarkly winks and walks away. Korbaz walks over to Lizzie and he says, "You seem to have gotten the worst of it. Terrible thing what happened to you, that rug." He says, then he reaches up and he kind of touches on your neck a little bit and he's like, "Oh yeah, carpet burn, the worst."
How do you guys know what carpet burn feels like? You don't have any rugs or carpet.
Oh my god.
Is that why they got rid of them all?
And he hands you this pointy hat that has all manner of like space and stars and little things on it, little everything you might find in an observatorium, or planetarium. And then Fibblestib and whatever the fuck their names are, Dabbledob and Fibblestib walk up, and they have an amulet and a pole in their hand, and they hand the pole.
Is it the king's pole?
Yes, they hand the pole. The pole is brought to Robin
Damn it.
and handed, and they said, "Be very, very careful with this." And they hand that to you, and to Hetton they give you this amulet with a clockwork design on it.
Ooh.
Each of you guys are gonna have to get these. They don't appear to be forthcoming with what they are at all. Like they're not telling you. They're just like, "Here you go. Isn't this great?" They're not telling you what it is.
Obviously.
Say,
How long is this pole that I got?
so the pole that you have is that's a great fucking question.
For a gnome, probably about 3 inches.
Oh my.
God damn it.
Let me look it up in my notes here.
You and your. Yes.
All I know is the 2 gay kings gave me their magic wand.
It's a 10-foot pole.
10 feet.
How is it fitting in this place?
It's long ways. It's a 10-foot pole.
Carefully.
Yeah. So you have this 10-foot pole, and
This one thinks you have the beginning of a glaive there.
Yeah, you guys will have to either get someone who knows how to cast Identify on these things, or you'll have to spend an hour fucking with it basically to identify it yourselves.
Give me to level 2.
Well, you can spend an hour, messing with it to figure it out
Oh
too.
no, I have identified.
The problem is if you don't cast Identify and you mess with it for an hour, if it has negative effects, you may discover those before the positive ones.
Yeah, that's fine. I have identified. It's fine.
Okay. And again, the hall is cheering, and Nerkly he walks up and he says, "And I understand how difficult of a journey it was here," and he says, "Here, hopefully this will help with supplies and whatnot." And he hands you 15 silver pieces, Lassair.
Aww.
Yeah, it's in a bag. It's in a pouch. I think it's implied for like you guys.
Okay, so at that, Lassair is going to turn around and to the other 3 party members, each give them 4 silver pieces.
Sounds good.
keeping the remainder for himself.
Okay, everybody gets 4 silver pieces, and from here, you guys are just being heralded as heroes amongst the gnomes. And if you want to put it in your notes, you guys are the Rug Slayers.
I'm just gonna kind
About
of
that book.
So Lasser is going to walk up to the two kings. This one has questions for the two of you. In private, maybe?
The Nerkly's eyebrows go up. Korvaz is like, I've been in private for weeks now.
Yes, but they have not. And he points to the other gnomes.
And then the Korvaz, he turns and he says, well, you heard the Rug Slayers, and they all begin scuttling out of the room.
Huh, we don't have a notes.
I'll hook you up.
And Titan just kind of leans in. Not to impose. Did anyone see a hammer at any point? But yay, large.
And then Dibbledob.
Did I come through just now?
Yeah,
Okay, make sure.
Dibbledob walks up and he says, like a big, and he says, and he imitates it. Yay, large. And he gives you the exact proportions.
Yay, large.
Yeah, it popped up in our workshop not long ago. We just threw it out.
Threw it out where?
Just into the lake.
Wait. Okay. Don't mind me. Thank you for. I start moving.
You just start making your way outside.
Traveling my way down.
Okay, so you head outside and you start looking for your hammer in the water.
Yeah.
Understood. All right, I'll pop you out there.
Please do. This is a fucking labyrinth.
This is a fucking
About
labyrinth.
that book.
So you're asking.
I'm getting there. Calm down. So yes, so Lasser talking to the kings. So this one has a minor concern. The bowl that I gave you that had the remains in it was a very special enchanted bowl that I have had for a very long time. Very important to me. To this one. So this one was wondering if in exchange there is a tome. This one likes to read and hasn't found any interesting tomes lately that is in your workshop. This one would like to have it as a, to offset the blow of losing my emotional ball.
Korvaz walks over to the bowl that shattered on against the wall, and he picks it up and he's like, I had no idea that this brown, plain, featureless bowl made of cheap clay meant so much to you. And he's got tears in his eyes. And he's like, oh.
That is understandable. It looks like a plain bowl, but I did make it with my own paws. When I was but a kitten.
He falls to his knees and he's just like, oh God, what have I done? Oh, I'm so sorry, Catman.
All can be forgiven if I get the tome in the workshop.
Please, yes, absolutely. And he looks over to Dabbledib and Babbledob and Fiddlestip. Please, give him what he asked. We must repay the Rug Slayers.
I can't decide if I hate or love the gnomes.
So Lassair, feigning utter joy because he's getting what he wants, is going to rush over to the two kings. Which one was the one that's just losing his damn mind right now?
Korvaz.
So he's gonna walk over to Korvaz and just kind of like pick him up and just like hug him really tight and like do like 2 cheek kisses before putting him down.
Yeah, he hugs you very tightly.
This one thanks you. This one thinks that the two of us could be the greatest of friends.
And sorry, I was typing. He cuts his thumb, reaches out, and he's like, "Till the end, brother."
Oh my God.
Spits on
So,
it. Wipes his butt.
and he
holds it out.
So, Lassair not wanting to ruin anything, just reaches out and shakes his hand.
He wipes the tears from his eyes, and he motions for the other two to go and get your book. And they come running back with the magic tome, as before I mentioned, it says Magic of Gnomeguard is written in Gnomish on it. And it contains, you'll have to write these on yourself, it contains these spells in it, which mean nothing to you, Lassair. But to Lizzie, if she, just to clarify, Lizzie, you can use these using your wizard spell book rules. I think you have to spend money and time to get them, but you can copy those spells into your spell book. You can take this with you. They're giving this to you, but you're giving you this book, but you'll have to copy those into your spell book using your spell book rules for wizard.
Okie dokie. I already have like 3 of those. Sad face,
still.
but it's fine.
But still.
This one does not, though.
Yeah, but you can't copy them, unfortunately. So. Yeah, it's not how the druids work.
It's not how the druid do.
Yeah.
I have a waterbending scroll.
I watched that episode today.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Yeah. But okay, and you guys can assume that I'm gonna get to meet it to Hetton here in a second. But you guys can assume that now at this point, you know, it's just general revelry and cheers as you guys are there. To Hetton, you go fumbling around in the water for some time, and then in a cluster of mushrooms, purple mushrooms, you see your hammer.
Oh,
Can't
beneath the water.
possibly go wrong. You guys kind of move on up to it. Reach in and grab it.
Roll a d20.
Up.
You sprout wings like those of a butterfly. The wings give the caster a flying speed of 30 feet. They would. For you, they can give you a breeze. you have superficial butterfly wings.
Does Lizzie still have hers?
I put the hammer back on me and just make my way to the surface.
God, how long do those last?
It's a good fucking question.
Is it on it? So I'm assuming the wings are outside of his shell?
Yes,
like
they are
on
grown on the outside of his shell.
Wild.
well, now we had 4 fairies in this place.
That's metagaming.
Just up at the surface of the water, just kind of leaning on it, or at the shore. Yeah.
Alright, guys. So, with that in mind, let's bring it to a close tonight, okay? Really quick, can I point something out? So, over the course of one session, all level 1, we fought sort of. We had an encounter with a dragon.
At best, the dragon fought us.
You gotta understand, I gotta roll a d20 to figure out where that dragon's at. You understand that's the first time I rolled it today?
5% chance. No, not even 5%. It's 5% times 5. There's such a small fucking chance that we were in the same spot as its first roll.
Exactly. Now, something similar
Hilarious.
happened to Corey on her playthrough, but it was like her second or third
I guess since
location.
we only have one. Yeah.
Yeah. But, either way, you guys had an encounter with a dragon. You guys show up here. Lizzie almost dies.
I visited the 9 hells.
You visited the 9 hells. You grew wings. That was an interesting first session.
And then we got a quest, and we still don't know if we even managed to complete the quest because we have no idea what these items do.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
I have a pole that's almost twice my height.
Yeah.
I have a magic hat of the cosmos.
I have the Gate King's magic wand.
Still lubricated.
Did I get the attachments?
And the batteries. It's kind of important.
Yeah, does it have batteries?
That's
Lizzie might.
on my magic.
So, I'll put a doodle out. What I'm going to do is get with Josh, because Josh is saying that he might skip his next session to get some more prep time for his. And since I'm playing out of a book here, it's really easy. So if he does that, I'll put a doodle out, and we'll play as soon as you guys all want to, as soon as we all line up our schedules again. And this time Josh will be here, so we'll introduce Stout Arm. see how that goes. So, here's hoping we get to play again soon, though. I had a good time. Did you guys have a good time?
Oh, yeah, I had a blast.
Very good. We'll try to.
I hope that Lizzie's not too annoying.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think the weekends are probably the best time for us. So we'll probably be looking at that'll probably be what it turns into is like Friday, Saturday, Sundays are probably going to be what it being because if Mara's coming home late, obviously we can't always do 7 p.m. But that's okay. We'll work around your schedule. You're very busy. Should work around everybody's schedules. Everybody's changing schedules. But yeah, I had a blast. I had a lot of fun with that. I hope you guys are starting to kind of figure your characters out. You seemed like towards the middle area you were really figuring out how you wanted to do it. So it was good. But okay. I'm glad you guys had a good time.
Yeet.
Yay!
All right, well, I'm gonna close the stream out here. Close for all. I don't know. I've got 4 people watching, but not 4 people talking. So I'm gonna assume that you guys hung around and enjoyed it, unless it's my friends who happen to just be tuned into my stream. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right. See you guys.